I'm winning Go Fish right now. Okay, you can't.
All right. Show your card.
All right, Go Fish.
You guys ready?
What are we doing?
Well, you got 3
All right,
players.
you know what?
So
I'm
it's
just
up to
going
you how you're
through.
gonna fill
I'm just going through. I think is absolutely the best player on this team.
Ooh.
display
All
capture
right.
नहीं आ रहा है.
Your key
And this
player.
is hashtag no bias.
All
Hashtag
right.
no bias. It's Texture.
Texture. All right.
Overall, the best player on this team. A superstar jet player.
Get out of here. Get out of
Are
here.
you throwing?
This is I think just he's great with the op. He's great at jet. I think his raise needs some work. I think this is the weakest part of his game is his raise. Otherwise, he is the best player on this team.
All right.
Get out.
Whoa!
Let's go,
I
boys.
caught it in my elbow, in my armpit.
Nice.
Are you throwing players at him?
He is. He's throwing his. Yeah, he's
Oh my
he's
God.
getting desperate.
All right.
His chip stack is
Who's my
dwindling.
best player now?
Show your card.
एक second,
You got
guys.
3 seconds.
I'm winning
Huh.
Uno.
Go!
Two.
I'm winning Uno, and Fox
Uno.
will be my next
Reverse.
best
Fox.
Back
player.
to
Reverse.
me.
Yeah, this is my
Kiddhar
reverse
gaya?
card. All right,
All right.
Fox. He has
Okay,
shown
guys.
that he can do a lot of
Let's
different
see.
things. He was the
Aha,
IGL
I will
last
take it.
week. He was the IGL last year at the same time. First of all,
Yeah,
he can play
like
duelist.
dosto.
He was the first
Sab
one who
kuch
I think
clear hai na?
hooked up this Yoru strat for talent, and they tried it last year. I believe it was either Copenhagen or Istanbul, where they actually tried
Insta पे एक story डाल दे.
Yoru on Icebox, and he was able to use the positional displacement to kind of switch up the pace and do a lot of things really differently, and that's why I think it's really exciting. Now we see him more on Initiate, and you were talking about Gecko. He was the one who did Gecko pretty well on
Yeah.
Haven, combining it with Killjoy's Lockdown. So Fox is my guy.
All right. You're
Guys,
right.
देखो अपन
That
live
was
है.
pretty cool. I
आप
wonder
लोगों
if
को
we're gonna
पूरी
see more
watch party
Gecko
दिखेगी
today.
stream से, तो जल्दी आ जाओ.
And-
Link पे
All right,
tag.
now we got
one?
our final one.
Final one?
We're going to do this at the same
Dekte
time.
hain,
You guys ready to pick your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
final
All right.
final dude?
This one's tough. This one was tough for
Huh?
mine. I mean, I have such a stacked roster to
Chalo
choose
kar
from
do.
here
You do.
compared to him. Like, I don't mean any disrespect to Talon there. I'm so
It's
sorry.
really about Quack.
So
Talon.
sorry, Hondo. Like,
So sorry, Eraser.
All
sorry,
right.
Talon.
रुक ना, लो,
Shinja.
रुक,
I'm
छोड़
just
डाल.
trying to. I'm more dogging on Quack than I am. Okay, let's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go. All right, you
Sorry,
ready?
sorry.
Last player. Who you got?
Sure.
I got
All right.
Batsy.
Oh, man.
Azzy.
I feel like your team's way more well-rounded than mine
And
at the
Garnet.
moment.
I have
कैसा
everything
लगा
I
तुम
need.
लोग को?
I have 2 initiators, duelist, controller, sentinel.
Bro, face
Here.
cam on,
All
kill
right,
speed.
let's go through Bazzi and your overall draft.
Sky has been really good. He played the best for them last week. I think
Okay.
he's got a ton of talent, a ton of experience across a lot of different teams.
Nah.
He's played at big stages before. I think this is a guy that you can rely on more than most.
Okay.
You
And
think so? You
Sure.
think?
who's your guy?
Over Garnett's? This is my guy?
Yes.
Garnett's with the
yes.
nice nails.
Yeah.
Every one of my picks over all of yours. That's all.
That's
All right.
nonsense.
Guys,
Yes.
let's look at okay,
Your
it's gone.
audio is
The
coming
teams
from
here.
right side only,
Remember to
huh?
hashtag VCT Pacific
One-sided आ रहा है
and
क्या?
VCT Pacific.
second.
Sorry, and just Pacific picks
Parth,
on Twitter
Shubhan को बुलाना,
about what you
Shubhan को
think
बुलाना.
of their drafts. Okay, so we are going to feature some of the best comments,
अरे
responses.
उसने audio setup किया
into
एक ही side
Team
से आ रहा है
Quack.
लोगों को.
And
who
just
now
know
owns
if
Talon.
you don't agree with me, you're wrong.
And Paperthin, who
Yeah.
owns Global Esports now, and tell us
Guys,
your
they're growing
opinions.
pains
But don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break where we are going to talk a little bit more about Global Esports and Talon. See you in a bit.
Zero distraction.
Hello.
Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
I am live. एक ही side से audio आ रहा है लोगों को पर apparently.
Red Bull gives you wings.
अभी ठीक है क्या audio? हाँ अभी ठीक है क्या? नहीं है.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hello. एक second ना guys. हेलो 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 अभी ठीक है क्या हेलो तो लोगों को ऑडियो एक एक ही साइड आ रहा है और बोल रहे 70 रुपए का हेडफोन से ऑडियो आ रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है। तूने क्या फिल्टर डाला ये? अभी ठीक है क्या? हेलो गाइस। नहीं एक साइड यार। ये तुम लोग क्या बकचोदी कर रहे हो क्या मेरे साथ? भाई कोई स्ट्रीम खोल के चेक करो ऑडियो। यस ट्रोलिंग। भाई ट्रोल कर रहे हो, मैं इधर फायरिंग कर रहा हूँ राइट लेफ्ट, तो पहले बताओ क्या है एक्चुअल में। देखो आप सुन के देखो। हेलो हेलो भाई 3 साइड ऑडियो आ रहा है अलग। हेलो हेलो बरोबर है क्या? बरोबर है। ये तुम लोग मेरे साथ कैसे बेशरम लोग हो रहे? इधर मेरे पूरा टीम को ला दिया। अरे सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ मैं। 3D ऑडियो आ रहा है। हेलो हेलो माइक चेक 1 2 3। हेलो आवाज कैसा आ रहा है? दोनों में है।
Welcome back to VCT Pacific. We are
एक सेकंड,
week
किसका
4
आवाज?
of Victoria. With me, I have Quack and Paper
अभी?
Thin, and we're gonna go
हेलो
into
हेलो
the
माइक
last
चेक 1 2
game
3।
of this weekend, Global
कैसे हो?
Esports and Talon. Now it's gonna be the Dirty Derby today.
काम किया?
Playing today.
अभी अभी
The roster and their giant.
अभी स्ट्रीम का आवाज ठीक है क्या?
It's lightning fast. That's really intriguing to me because lightning fast generally is like.
ओ भाई गोलू खेल रहा है।
Controller type player. So
हाँ,
where exactly
बरोबर
are
है।
they going to throw him in? What
Stream
what's
audio
the map
बरोबर
gonna
है।
look like, you know, that's some big questions for me. I think everybody expected Rossi, but the lightning fast is kind of a curveball here. I'm pretty curious to see what GE's got cooked up.
I'm definitely curious as well.
भाई गोलू खेल रहा है गाइस, बहुत खुश हूँ मैं। लेट्स गो गोलू।
Supportive player, maybe a sentinel if anything. So that means they're gonna have to sub someone out.
गाइस सच्ची सच्ची बताओ बिना बकचोदी करके कि आवाज ठीक है कि नहीं है?
This is exactly what I. Well,
You're-
yeah, it is exactly
This
what
is
I
what you
predicted.
picked. Yeah.
Your team for today.
200 IQ.
Wow.
Where
Well,
Bro,
only if
what
they
is this
win.
audio
Only
with?
if they win.
only if they win, then you're.
Dang
Yes.
it. You want them to win too. But yes, that's right.
I do.
I mean, this comes down to how they really strategize around this. Because like we were talking about earlier, Clinton,
हेलो 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 माइक
last
चेक 1
week's
2 3।
picks were actually serious.
Yes.
हेलो
So yes, I have some.
मफल्ड ऑडियो आ रहा है।
Secret info. That's
Yes.
that's
Filters
why I
निकाल
played
देना,
the
सब
last
निकाल
one
दे।
as well. Yes, I have word on the streets as I am. You can tell.
Hello,
from the way
hello.
that I was dressed earlier.
You're
I'm absolutely
one
a
with
man
the
of the
streets,
streets. Yes. That triple duelist comp was the real deal. That was them trying.
Hello,
not
hello,
just trying
hello,
something,
hello.
something that had been successful for them in
That's
scrims.
cap.
I don't know.
Better
That's
हुआ?
what I heard. So and
राइट लेफ्ट ईयर बैलेंस करो, राइट
maybe,
लेफ्ट ईयर बैलेंस
bamboozled.
ऑफ
Maybe I
है लोग
shouldn't
बोल
believe
रहे
my
हैं।
informants, but in this case, I took their word for it.
Actually, yeah, I'm inclined to believe you because you have proven me right so far, and that's really interesting because then it comes down to like,
अभी ठीक है क्या? हेलो
how did that really work in scrims? And maybe it didn't
हो
work
गया
in
नाइस,
scrims,
बस हो गया
but it
बोल रहे
worked
लोग।
against another team. That's what I'm
अभी
worried
देखो
about.
अभी ठीक है क्या?
Yeah,
परफेक्ट
so,
ओके।
you laid out really
सब कुछ ठीक है, इन गेम ऑडियो
These
से
two
लेके माइक
teams
ऑडियो।
are at the very bottom of the ladder. Now we love these teams.
Done.
We all love
ओपा के
Talon
लिए
and
ओपा
Global
ओपा ठीक
Esports,
है,
but
बस
the
बैकग्राउंड
fact
नॉइज है। अभी
is,
बैकग्राउंड नॉइज तो
despite,
गाइस थोड़ा बहुत
Global
रहेगा
Esports
ही।
was performing really well.
अगर वो मैं बंद कर रहा हूँ तो मेरा नॉइज तुम लोग को रोबोटिक लग रहा है।
Losses, but they performed really well against DRX. And
नहीं है ना? और तुम लोग वॉच पार्टी व्यू पार्टी पे देखने के लिए आए हो तो
reasons why you are predicting a win for Global Esports.
भाई एक पीस इधर भी दो, एक ही पीस दो, एक ही पीस ओके बस बस।
नॉइस फिल्टर का सेंसिटिविटी एडजस्ट करने का ऑप्शन है, सीधा ऑन ऑफ ही है।
तो पॉज क्यों किया?
Yeah, it's a really and figure it out. I don't know, but it feels do or die for sure for both teams.
Yeah.
Well, Quickly for myself, you said it multiple times. Whenever you don't believe in Talon, that's when Talon gets really upset, and they're like, "I'm gonna prove paper thin wrong."
I don't think it has anything to do with me. I just
So
they're good players.
I feel like no, they're great, and they've got the potential, and I think today's gonna be the day. Is that your opinion?
I think so. This is going to be that day. Surely it's the day because they've been struggling. They did really well last year. I think they got it today.
Well, we're gonna find out in today's final matchup of this weekend of Week 4. Like you said, it's
Okay,
do
let's go, guys.
or die. Let's go to the stage.
Stream sound
Watch
low hai
their
kya?
walkouts
Welcome to
for
Chapa
the
Chapa
ultimate
Abhi.
Southeast
Adi.
Asian Death Match.
अभी स्ट्रीम ऑडियो ठीक है ना गाइस, सब कुछ ठीक है. स्ट्रीम साउंड लो है. अभी देखो सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा गाइस. आदित्य तो एक फ्रेश लाइन थोड़ा बोलना और एक चिकन चिली भी बोल देना. ओके गाइस, थोड़ा पेट पूजा कर लेते हैं. तुम लोग आगे हो क्या? आई एम फास्टर. आई एम फास्टर ब्रो. लेट्स गो गाइस, एंट्री हो रही है. लेट्स गो. आई वांट टू सी गोलू गाइस.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is VCT Pacific. The stakes are high with two Southeast Asian teams facing off. We have India's Global Esports and Thailand's Talon.
I'm excited for
Yeah!
debut. This is a really,
Let's go,
interesting
Golo!
guy who's kind of been, playing at, a very high level with a lot of really good teams. Competed at the LCQ in 2021. So no doubt he's a very good player. So I'm just curious to see how he's going to fit in.
I mean, he was playing last year as well in APAC, and he had some great performances. But you're right, this is his first debut. First of all, the guy's smiling. He looks ready to go. But
Let's go guys, आज तो
played
गोलू
lock-in. He
पट
hasn't
से देगा,
really
पट
shown
से.
us much at all this year. So this will be his first time with the team, and that's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, my question here is I suspect double controller is my guess. So that means to me, what map is going to be the first one here? Is it going to be
क्या हो गया?
Icebox,
Let's go,
Lotus?
Bonnie!
Like those are kind of the ones where you're more likely, maybe Pearl, to see double controller versus others. Is he going to be playing a Harbor potentially or something like that? Astra or Viper as well are definitely in the mix. So, really curious. Lightning Fast is kind of like my big point of interest for me. Like he's the unknown. It's his first time in Pacific.
That's right.
What's going to happen?
All eyes are on him.
Guys,
I
क्या
think
लगता है
whatever it
कितने
is,
गोलू अपना
today's matchup
मुझे
is
लगता
going to
है
be
मार
so
देगा भाई
different than
लौंडा अपना.
yesterday because both of these teams play completely different than how the Korean or Japanese teams do. I think we can expect to see maps that we haven't seen much in the rotation at Pacific. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And
Guys, बहुत खुश हूँ guys, गोलू खेल रहा है.
Talon is the one
Let's
who
go.
had a triple duelist comp last week, which was crazy. And also the same team and only team who showed up with Gecko.
Yeah, spirits are high to say the least, and yes, they do have some interesting comps for sure. A lot of new things to experiment with, and maybe experimentation has been done because
And by
today
any chance, so
it is,
Watchparty in
like you
Jaipur,
mentioned,
maybe
do or
bro.
die. Boy is here with as their assistant coach as well from the US. So I think Talon
लोग
has
भरोगे
been
क्या
cooking
जयपुर में
up
अगर
some
आएंगे
secret
तो?
recipes behind our backs. Global, we've seen how they perform. They are pretty good. They're gonna just have to clash against each other.
We're going to surprise with Quadra Duelists
No, Vic, please.
and a Sage.
No, no.
First map नहीं खेल रहा है guys, but I think इसके बाद खेलेगा Roshi.
That
Don't
would
worry.
be
My eyes!
yeah, that would definitely make waves, certainly.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Reddit.
Look, I think for Talon, if they are cooking, if that's their idea, that I need to see
चलो,
the
video देखे
ingredients
क्या है?
be better put together.
Fracture
right?
ban G ka,
The
okay.
triple duelist thing, fine if it was working, but DRX is pretty unflappable. Okay, Pearl ban. So it's going to be the first pick. I mean,
G
Split is
split
here,
pick.
right? This is the map that was played very,
Split
very
pick,
well for
obviously.
GE against
Golu race खेलेगा
against
guys.
DRX, so no surprise
Golu
at
race
all, especially with the way
खेलेगा.
that, you know, Talon looked against DRX on the same map.
That certainly is one of their favorites, but Icebox, this is
Thank God we
Victoria's
get
favorites. But
Finally.
for Talon to go
Love
back
that.
to this, like we haven't seen this in a while. Not so much in Pacific, like the whole of this Pacific playoffs. I mean, league play for so far. So I don't know. Maybe they actually do have something interesting. Maybe they're gonna go back to Yoru again.
Oh, Haven as the decider is really interesting. I mean, this is a map I would favor GE a little bit more on with what I've seen from them. I think they're really structured. They play their, you know, very kind of classical Haven, but still they play it very, very
Ice cream giveaway करना आज गोलू खेल रहा है. अरे thank you for the 440. चलो
He
guys,
said in
ice
an
cream
interview
giveaway
that
करेंगे.
Maybe his team needs to play a little bit faster to match his pace. So
खुशी
that's
में
something
आज
that
मैं
I'm
दो
gonna
battle
keep
pass
my
ही
eyes
giveaway
on.
करूँगा.
Meanwhile,
गोलू
for
खेल रहा है
Talon,
guys.
I just want to
Let's
see
go.
more coordination because these guys have shown that they are trying to come up with
Guys,
something new or different.
Crips.
They
Crips.
have been changing around their
Crips.
roster, but when it comes to coordinated plays, it's just not quite there
Crips.
yet for whatever reason. So they really
भाई
need to fix
ignore हो रहा
it
guys
right
बहुत
here
ज़्यादा.
today, this week.
Oh, so
There is a
wait,
stage.
Lightning Fast is playing Raze?
No.
क्या बोला
What?
guys?
Not texture?
Ronda खेलेगा race.
Meanwhile, Talon, I mean, this looks meta. This
Let's
looks
go,
like it
Golo!
makes sense.
Now we're back to something normal. What? And Texture is playing Sage, the battle Sage, I guess. This is wild. I'm really curious to see what GE is going with this. I mean, Munyet on the Astra we know is really, really strong, but
Switching things up today, favor than.
yeah.
I love it. I love when they switch it up in Pacific.
Love you,
It's
Golo, love you,
just
love you, love you.
gonna
Let's
give us
go.
exciting games. I wonder if we're going to see more judgment days from Munyet again on Split because he was crazy 2 weeks ago. Now let's see how this is all going to play out.
Golo.
At the caster desk in the booth above this stage today, we've got 𝐻𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒 and William. William, how's your teeth doing? I heard you got something done.
I did get one of my teeth crowned.
Yeah. I have no idea about this.
I would hope that you don't know, because that'd be kind of weird if you didn't know everything about
बिल्कुल
my
lightning
teeth.
fire deserved
I
it
got my
absolutely
first
guys.
tooth ever crowned, my first cavity ever, actually, in 30
मैं
plus
तो
years
बहुत
here
खुश
on
हूँ
Earth.
guys. अपना
I'm
लौंडा
so
देखो
holding
आज
out.
मारेगा
I have
सुलाएगा
so
talent
holding
को.
out a cavity.
Dang.
I've been able to survive this long.
Guys,
which is
chat में हो
surprising,
जाए,
given
ठीक है?
how much sugar
3,
and soda I
2,
was consuming at a young age,
1.
just sitting in a LAN cafe.
G fighting बोलते
for
guys.
12
Let's go.
hours on end.
लिख
But,
रहे हो कि नहीं पता
all
नहीं.
right. Well, glad that your crowning went well.
Thank
now,
you.
we can jump into the action here with map number 1 of Global
Let's go.
versus Talon. And yeah, it is curious to see Lightning Fast coming in and playing the race. This is the same comp that we saw from Global all the way back versus Vitality at Lock-In, except at that point it was SK Rossi playing the stage and Texture was playing the race.
Yes, so a little bit of a player swap. Now, Lightning Fast, he has a significant number of games on Raze as well, especially towards the end of last year when they were
Guys,
playing in
इसके लिए
some
तो
of the
अपन
third-party tournaments.
watch party पे
Seems like
आके
he was really
view
playing a
party
lot
पे
of the
आके
Raze,
watch
some of
party
the
करते
arena as
public
well,
के साथ
trying
guys.
to fit him into this duelist role. So we'll see how he holds up. I mean, Texture, we know he can frag, but his utility on the stage, how does that work out? His timing,
Golo
right?
sir, let's
And
go, Golo
just
sir.
quick on his feet. Sometimes he's going to have to
उसके
make his
दे
own
रे
decisions.
और यार ना.
All right,
चला
well,
चला.
the gates have opened, and for now, Talon just going to be sending a couple people creeping here into B Garage. Munyet playing on the site. So we
Munyet
definitely
खोपड़ी
need
तोड़
to
साले
also
का.
keep our eyes on, given what he was able to do the last time that they played on this split map.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what a monster. And then also to point out on the side
Rossi
of
next
Talon, I
map
mean,
खेलेगा
not only,
guys, I
of course,
think.
are they straying away from the triple
Guys,
entry,
सारे लौंडे
but a
खेलेंगे
little
अपने.
bit of, an agent swap as well, right? Last time it was Pat playing on that Astra, I believe. Didn't show as much comfort with the utility,
I
but
don't
Cruz
count that.
going back to the controllers.
I
Yeah.
don't count that game. As far as I'm concerned, Pat has never played Astra.
Yeah, that was just in our dreams. So he's just going to be playing that KO, something that he should be a little bit more self-sufficient with.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a lot more suited to him, especially as a player who's coming back after a long time away. Putting him on something like an Astra where it's very micro-focused, definitely a bit out there. For now, Boombot, just to try to check. See if there's
उसको
still
बोलो ना
that
आदित्य को
presence
ना
here
fresh
in mid.
time किधर है वो कब से
On the
बना
side
रहा है
of
मेरे को
Global
बस.
Esports, I mean, they've just confirmed that no one's really pushed in towards B. They haven't shown as much control over mid yet, and the way they're checking, first they body check,
Guys,
then they
अपना
use your
setup तो
utility
अच्छा है
to
guys.
confirm. They bought so much
Mid है
time,
गोलू के पास.
and now they know that as long as Munyet can just stay alive, that they can go for this retake over on B.
Oh, Grabwell goes to grab one.
And he's
Get the-
still alive.
The lock-in, but I mean,
Nice
I'm
frame,
not
Munyet.
paying
Nice
attention.
frame,
Oh, he's doing it
Munyet.
again.
Oh no!
Off the rip of 4K
Ace!
to kick off the series. Not yet, you absolute split animal.
When,
5 kills already locked in, 39 the record to beat.
when Aaron said on Twitter, be prepared for a big surprise, we all thought it was going to be the roster, but the big surprise was Monyet kicking things off with a classic ace here in the first round.
Just gorgeously done. I mean, able to really easily secure the one onto Garnets, given the vulnerability that had already been on him. But every single follow-up kill from there, absolutely hot damn gorgeous to witness.
I mean, again, sometimes players, they just feel more comfortable on certain maps, and clearly Split is that map here for Monyet. See if we can continue that, of course. I mean, with 5 Spectres, they're still going to have a decent amount banked up on the side of Monyet as well to continue on to the next rounds.
Let's go guys, let's go. Monyet ने ace से शुरुआत कर दी है.
Kill record was, is this a flash in the pan? Are we going to see consistency from this guy? And I think widely we have. So
yes,
hell of a way to kick things
पानी
off.
देना
Let's see how
तो
he
पानी
fares now
पिला दे.
in the anti-eco.
कुछ भी
Just a
पिला
couple
दे.
taps on the ropes over towards a heaven. Just keep interest.
मार मार. Goal
Pushed over towards that side of the map. A nice bite though.
Nice
Will
play.
connect and put a bit of damage down onto Cruz and locking
Monyet
off Mail for now.
owns his sword.
And
Yes,
this is
guys.
something we saw when Global Esports was playing against DRX as well, is just the way that they play the map of Split, despite its tight quarters, the way they're using their utility to buy time and cycle through all of that. Once again, I mean, this paint shells, it's going to buy so much time again, and he gets 2!
Nice, Golo!
He's got another one. He's got the reset. He's throwing it right into Mail. He's going to force them forward, split them apart.
Oh, they're stuck
in.
here.
Yeah, Bazzi picking up one. The blast pack connecting for a little bit of extra
Oh!
damage. I thought he had it for a
Nice,
second.
nice.
Yet taking down Foxy. But there you have it, a flawless follow-up in the anti-eco.
Guys, देखो Watchparty अपने थोड़ा पीछे चल रही है.
For Global.
I mean, look at the economic status of Global Esports, right? You keep
Wow.
all 5 Spectres on top of that, barely much damage done to your shields, and then you're
Let's go,
banking up
guys.
creds. Of course, you had Monyet with the ace
Guys,
as well.
थोड़ा
They are
5
in
second
such
पीछे
prime
करूँ क्या?
position here for the defensive half on Split.
आदित
Great
आदित
start.
तुम लोग पीछे चल रहे हो थोड़ा.
Kills now.
आगे कर रहा है ना?
Lightning fast as well.
Okay,
His
guys,
debut
चलो,
on
आ
this
गए.
stage. That's exactly what you want to see, is get them roaring, ready to go.
नहीं उन लोग आगे कर रहे हैं guys.
The game, reduce that warm-up time, but we'll see how they fare now.
Yeah, and a little bit of a default setup change here for the first couple of rounds, right? I mean, last time we saw Monyet heavily focusing on B and or mid to shut
Right.
down the entire map, but now, I mean, just in that second round, we actually saw him with a neat little setup to block off vents over on A Heaven. Now he's focusing on vents as well as being ready to provide support over on A, and that allows Aaron to now constantly switch up his setups as well, providing some support on that B side with the one-ways, where Talon now they'll always
अच्छा
have
खेल
to
रहा है
approach
guys, गोलू
first
आराम
to
आराम.
figure out what the default is
ऐसे ही
before they
बोला
can
उड़ा
ever
गया
actually make up
उसको.
their mind.
Fox swinging around the side of that Nebula, able to get line of sight. Does get a nice little headshot in. Sushi Boy's going to be down to 5 HP.
Nice
Bazzi
shit.
will trade one back and now locates the spike. See, he's got the read. Does he want to send a flash down or just get tucked away? It looks like it's going to be the latter. Meanwhile, Fox is just pushing his way downstairs over towards that defender's spawn and very much leaves Aaron in a vulnerable position, as the Boombot is not going to check this spot. Nice pop flash into the corner. Bazzi, no hope in hell. Very nicely timed there from Talon.
Yep, and Aaron going to get spotted.
चलेगा
as
चलेगा guys.
well.
Bonus
So,
था
I mean,
अपना
a great
bonus
setup
था.
from Fox as well, flanking all the way around. And
Bonus था,
also, we got
bonus.
to give credit
कोई
where
बात
credit is
नहीं.
due, of course, Pat and Garnett's not taking any chances, right? They recognize that if you're not up front, then you've got to be hidden behind.
Jinx,
because we
अरे
saw the
Jinx
spike
नहीं-
drop. So
Jinx
a
नहीं
good
होता है, guys.
recovery, not the
जो हो
end
गया
of
वो
the
हो गया.
world,
Oh,
but
it's
of
blind.
course. Oh, wow, yeah, just through the smoke. Just a
अरे
little
मैं तो
space.
तारीफ ही कर रहा था
But
और
on top of that, we have to remember, you
ऐसा
know,
हो गया
Global
कि
Esports, sure, you didn't do
Jinx
as
मत करो,
much
नहीं करते
damage
guys,
as you
नहीं
want
करते.
to the enemies,
अपन
but
गेम
you
देखने
also
में
have some
फोकस
impact.
करते हैं.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to be more than fine going into the next. Let's see. We'll be buying down. Losing this one would be obviously the most costly for them, but equal weaponry now in hand.
And Cosmic Divide online for Monyet. So I suspect, yeah, without the early aggression on A side, soon enough Aaron should make the decision to kind of back off and just
Hey,
hold on to
what
Heaven
name of
alongside Batsy, and that would allow them to at least control enough space where they can get an easy retake with the Cosmic Divide.
Fox trying it again. They identify roughly where he's at, and one segment of the wall going to be broken down.
Wall
The
गलत
trail
जगह कर
plays
दी
are
है.
now let loose, quickly dealt with. Meanwhile, everybody else from Talon not pressuring over towards B, which will be called out, and now they can very much start to suspect that this is going to end up being an A hit.
And because of that, they're
भाई
actually
आंखों से
lining up.
आंसू
They're
आ
giving
जाएंगे
up
गोलू
heaven
को
because
इतना
at a certain
पेशेंस से
point with
खेलते
the
हुए देख
timer
रहा
the
हूँ
way it
अच्छा लग रहा है
is,
बहुत
Talon is going to have to get through to the site first. So they're trying to use this toxic screen to their advantage where they can set up a crossfire. They even have backup coming in the form of Lightning Fast as well.
Aaron avoiding that. He just
Nice, Aaron.
watch the wrong man. Show me his
Nice.
ability.
And Aaron's still
Nice.
alive.
To find one. He gets a third.
Let's
Bazzi
go.
Swings out back sight, and only Lightning Fast going to be lost here in the fight. And one yet should be able to afford a 5 for him. So 3-1 the scoreline now. Very great answer back from GE once they get to equal footing in weapons.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout coming up here in Talon in the next round or two. Because right now they're spending so much time
Quality सही
and
करो, quality तो सही है
just to
guys.
figure out the setup from Global Esports. And yeah, I mean, this viewing part from Mumbai, I figured it'd be a big one, but there it is. I mean, they're getting riled up, and as they should be, because Global Esports was being called this team, the best team to never win yet here in the VCT leagues across the world.
Has been true. Has very much been true. And I think that you'd have to be a fool to say otherwise, just given what they have been able to show us. Protection out. Does he want to swing off this? He does. No one there to see. Goes for it again. Take a little bit of damage there from that Sheriff, and wisely will back away.
Nice,
in the meantime, top ramp swings, and that Sushi Boy's taken out.
And this is where Batsy has been so good for this team of Global Esports. He may not be getting the most frags every time, but his utility to support and then always be prepared for these crossfires. And we've been seeing this more and more as Sky has been kind of taking hold as this main initiator for a lot of teams, where you can provide support in so many different ways. You've got flashes, you've got intel, and then you can hold different angles with your flashes to provide crossfires. I mean, you're one of the best ways to be that kind of second line of entry or defense.
He's been great with it. And I mean, I keep referencing this interview from back when he had first transitioned over into playing this initiator instead, as I'll hold my thought. The rocket, inevitably, Lightning Fast cannot get away from that one. Swing over towards the garage, and oh, the third shot is the charm. Catches Aaron in the head, and suddenly Talon on pace to go ahead and turn this into a thrifty.
Yeah, and with the weapons picked up as well, this is going to give them a good chance to bounce back, right? They're not going to always have to fight from behind. Global Esports, they are going to try for this.
I heard the drop, though, but Garnet's with a 4K will
चलेगा guys, चलेगा
bring them over the finish line.
चलेगा
Second round win for Talon, and a thrifty to boot. Very nicely done by them, given how, you know, losing your Viper nice and early in the round doesn't feel great. It's a really good way to bounce back. I was going to say, Bazzi, having played Duelist, knows how to set up as an initiator for his for the rest of his teammates. So while Texture might not be playing Duelist right now in this map, he knows how to set somebody up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the big benefits there. And obviously, we've seen that work for teams like DRX here in Pacific, where you take all these Jet mains and then you turn them into these other roles that know how the Jet wants to play. We're kind of seeing that in the works right now for Global Esports as well.
Being a Jetman is just the first stage of evolution.
Nice shot,
Regular.
Shot,
Sheriffing. Texture and Lightning Fast just cracking skulls as Texture will get a second.
I mean, sure, you had 3 people lined up, so the ones in front were really just trying to bait for you, but still.
I mean, good lord. And now Bazzi's over here holding down this site with the judge. Good luck, Sushi.
Oh, well, it was a nice jiggle peek, but it's still the judge that you're up against at that range.
Might not have been clean, but it doesn't matter. Spike is stranded over by Ramen. And they know exactly where Cruz is at. Cruz? Okay, so odd timing. Looks like he wasn't ready for him to be wrapped around up towards heaven that quickly.
I mean, yeah, there's no reason.
Guys, thrifty guys.
Okay.
Nice, Ray.
Well,
why not?
Yeah, why not?
Starts with some sheriffs and ends with the classic, and it's a back-to-back thrifty answered by Global. And that will draw out the timeout.
Yeah, because I was actually getting a little concerned because they won that thrifty from Talon on that previous round. Because obviously if you're winning and you're gaining momentum, you maybe let them do it. But wow, these shots are clean from Global Esports. And again, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but this goes back to the fact that if you have a bunch of Jet mains, that means their aim has to be crisp to a certain level, right? So you already start with that fundamental. Now you just have to kind of build them into these other modes of utility and understanding each other, the comms. But if that can happen, if you can make that chemistry work, you have a super team.
People on VCT chat saying worse.
Well, a decent enough start here from the side of Global. Timeout called by Talon. Safe to say, the team to try to right the ship. Obviously, playing standard this time around. No triple duels. Whether or not it was serious,
what happened here?
Still doubtful?
Yet to be revealed. I'm going to tell myself it wasn't serious.
It looks Guys, देखो मेरे को इन लोग बोल रहे हैं पीछे करने के लिए करूँ क्या 5 सेकंड?
Yoru fan, I do see the potential in that.
Oh, yes. Because it was the best display of Yoru we could have ever had. We were joking in the green room before the broadcast had started that it was going to be Global running a triple duelist.
Yeah.
Lightning Fast come and play, Raze Texture play Jet, and then Baz go back and play.
A resounding no came from the chat.
That's true. I mean, he was one of the first ones to
Guys,
show it over
geez, guys, messing
Euro
with my
operator
stream.
once, we saw kind of the downfall of
Chalo,
Jet
we
for
are
a
on
little
the
bit
same
with some
time
of her
also.
nerfs last year, but of course, Jet now in full power. Of
What
course,
the fuck?
Raze kind of the preferred duelist for a lot of teams here on Split.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're going to be running solo, seems like Raze is the play. Star going to be set up here at the edge of the garage just in case the push starts coming in, try to grab well and slow up the entries. Guardians with double blast pack, however, can obviously skip over that. And Texture is not in a position to get a slow orb in this as well.
Yeah, but I mean, the position definitely looks like they're just focused on keeping mid, right? Make sure that we're not caught off guard by any sort of lurks, any sort of these hidden plays, because you're just controlling A heaven, you're just controlling mid. You just want sight on B, and then you're going to rely on that Cosmic Divide to go for this retake. You even have the res from Texture, like you mentioned. I mean, that allows you to be a little more aggressive with the retake as well.
Garnets does get slowed up a bit, but Cosmic Divide going to be cutting a lot of this audio. Push in, oh, the full blind Lightning Fast. What is that?
The confidence from Lightning Fast just to trust that he's going to get someone.
Oh my goodness. Well, Sushi Boys spike now.
Nice, Red Kolu
destroyed. Lightning Fast with the showstopper. Takes him down. Will fall to cruise over the garage. He does find a
Nice
secondary
round,
elimination. So a bloody brawl
Let's
here on
go,
the B
let's go.
site. But in the end, it's going to be Global with Aaron and Bazzi standing tall. Bringing it now 5-2 and stopping
Let's
Talon
go,
from being able
Golo.
to find immediate value off the back of that
Let's
timeout.
go, Golo.
And like you mentioned, off of the
Let's go,
timeout, this was
Golo.
the plan was use Cosmic Divide
Let's go,
and then
Golo.
push through before the plan fully completes to really counteract any sort of rushed retake from the defenders. But Global Esports is ahead of it. What I was going to comment on was the fact that Monyet was already in position over there by Ali, but Lightning Fast, he just says he does catch him right at the end, but he was still in prime position there.
I mean, by the time he saw him, the guy was already dead.
Yeah.
He was just happening to hit that spray perfectly, and then immediately up over the top, finds the Viper. It's a great way to just drop that lead quickly.
Let's go,
Ensure
man.
the clean retake
Sorry.
here. They are fired up right now.
I mean, you're playing your debut match. You've been
Adit,
waiting
मेरा
to
flash
come
life
here
थोड़ा आ ही रहा है.
in Seoul, South Korea. Now you're giving your chance and you're popping off. What a better, there's no better way to start your career here in VCT Pacific.
Yeah. I mean, you can't imagine, how the hunger, really, sitting back at home
अरे अपने वाले का
for that
खोपड़ी मत
passport
फोड़ो,
to
guys.
arrive so that you could finally fly out, join in with the rest of your team, and then get prepped to play. Double drop here. And Event, Garnets, and Fox just checking things out, see if there's a forward hold. Lightning Fast, though, pushing but up. Ends up getting caught. That Boombot crucially does not spot Monyet, but they're not moving towards him. They're shifting away. However, he is nearby. Depending on when he wants to strike, this could be monstrous. For now, Monyet is going to be nullified. Suppress coming in. The Seeker finds him. And just rushes in for the kill. Finds the second. Monyet is an absolute god. He cannot be slain.
I mean, that's already so much damage done, right? You have to spend time for the res. Of course, now Batsi, the only one left alive, but he's correctly gambling on this. He wants to go over to B.
Baz is going to be looking for it.
30 seconds left.
Made the check close at stairs. Plant coming down, and basically I'd say new H default. He starts inching his way forward. Spots one. Close there. Up on top of the Raptors, however, is Pat, so we'll be able to shut him down. So we'll just go ahead, back and forth, trade some blows. Talon keeping it close.
Yeah, I mean, Monyet, right there when he was trying to get the flank, he chooses to run right as the Seekers pop. So the Seekers plus the no command, he does that kind of noise against them, and he gets the second one as well, which is really impressive part. Unfortunately, of course, I think Garnet's actually being caught there. Baits Batsy into thinking that it's going to be a different position. He doesn't even think about checking over on the Raptors, and Pat will clean that round up.
Still, though, costly. And Talon, at the very least for Global here, they have not allowed for Talon to really build up much bank. At the moment, just Fox with 2,500. Looking the most well off. Flash out into mid, really heavy presence. 4-man stack to check forward there from Global.
Yeah, they do this about halfway through their defending half every time we've seen them so far. Now, they did not see the spike, so they just confirmed that there was no mid presence, so not too much info gained. That allows them to also just safely default back in position. But once again, the setup is, let's just keep mid control, right? I mean, you have the support potentially from both Monyet and Batsy to make sure Lightning Fast can get out alive over through B Heaven if need be. Oh, they're going to try to pinch.
Oh, that flash does not connect. Garnet's shifting away.
Nice,
Crosshair placement off as he tries to go for the
nice,
reach.
nice.
Will be able to find Monyet, but then Bazzi picks up a second, and that is going to be the spike. Location now confirmed. Seekers chasing in. Confirm that Fox is here, has recovered it. In the meantime, they're well aware about this flank coming through from Heaven.
Yeah, and they know where all three members are. The Seekers all died in different positions.
Lightning Fast, he goes aggro, he swings in. Now they know that Bazzi's back sight. He's able to stabilize, finds one, gets caught in the gravity well.
So it's time
Brings
with the
out
flash.
of it. Flash for flash!
Nice,
Bazzi
Bazzi.
with 4. Brings this now into 1v2. Cruz surrounded. Picture on the long flank about to arrive in garage.
Just trying to make sure you can create these angles that are beneficial to him. He doesn't have time, though.
Yeah, he's just walking through it.
Now he has to get back through.
He's planning right on the edge. About a second to spare.
Nice.
He knows. He says, with that much time, you're
Let's
planning
go.
right on the edge of this hallway. Swings back in.
Yes,
Closes the round, 6-3. Global keeping their lead with a decent stretch here.
Yeah, and if you just look at the way they move around the map, right? The fact that they push out into B garage there, right as Lightning Fast once again confirms that the Trailblazers is trying to control mid, because that signifies to them, okay, they emptied mid in the beginning, now they want to retake control, so they have to have emptied out of a different part of the map. I mean, the way they are reading the ebb and flow of their opponents on the side of Talon is just so good, and this is something that we've been praising Global Esports and especially 𝘼𝐽𝐺 about for his calling.
Okay, pit down. I was wondering whether it was going to be invested in this round or in the future, but they say, we're not taking any chances. We already got thriftied once. Just go ahead and pop it now. And I mean, Monyet, something about him and just sprang into mid. He just continues to find kills. The third one for him. And Cruz will be able to limp away, it seems. Actually, he's looking to re-aggress. At least get across the sewer.
Yeah, they know that there's no way for Talon to come through this pit if you're just constantly spraying. I mean, you have two members. And what I love that whenever they do this for Global Esports, it's Monyet who aggresses, not the Viper. And 𝘼𝐺𝐺's got to finish it off.
Yeah, all too easy for him. Gets that highlight. The decay just working him lower and lower, and it's a flawless round. And a now, very much unbreakable bank here for Global with 2 more rounds to be played out.
And let's remember that this is off of 0 operator buys as well, right? They've never had to take the risk of pushing out with an operator to control one side of the map. This is all purely off of just correct spraying, correct macro, and then some great individual plays as well from the likes of Lightning Fast.
That's great. Rifling. And it's a good point. Hadn't really even considered that we just haven't seen any ops at all.
Nice.
Yeah, flashed as well, so I think just kind of throwing him off.
Nice.
Has to use the showstopper to check close.
That'll give you a concussion. Now flash through. They'll find the site is widely empty at the moment, but the Global member's not too far off. Dog for dog close up here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and back away as the spike gets planted.
Now, of course, that counter Trailblazer does mean that Batsy gets to keep control of Alley. That doesn't allow Talon to push off of it. So now they are going to have to just fill the site. Now, the question is, do they go for a bit of a flank here through mid?
It's an answering Cosmic Divide. It cuts the site in half horizontally.
And they're positioned to cut off anyone from B main as well.
Garnet still within the smoke.
Nice, Gulu.
Fox going to be taken down. They will eventually flush him out. Pat able to answer back one, but this leaves suddenly 𝘼𝐺𝐺 all on his lonesome on the opposite side of the Cosmic Divide, and there's just nothing to be done. An 8th round snatched up, and he won't be able to hold on to the weapon. Global looking terrifying here on the defending side.
What a great retake setup, right?
Let's
you make sure
go,
that Batsy uses his
G.
utility to keep Alley. Then you fly Heaven, but then you cut
G.
the site in half the other way horizontally,
Let's
which
go,
means,
G.
okay, now that we have control of Alley, they have to only fill the
Let's
site
go,
and go
Golo.
after main. But if we keep members on either side of the wall, the members from main can't progress through the Cosmic Divide to stop the spike defuse. I mean, this is all planned out perfectly from Global Esports.
I mean, we've been singing his praises for a while now, but it just... 𝘼𝐺𝐺's calling has just been getting better and better.
Yes, I think that's the biggest part, right? We always knew that, he had some good experience on it and he improved himself to a certain amount, but the fact that he's improving every match they play here week to week in VCT Pacific means that he's really growing up to be a very formidable IGL.
Yeah, I mean, already we knew, especially defending side, that he is very well versed in that regard. We'll see how that continues as we shift over. We finally do have an operator. Texture's got one in hand. And use immediately. 𝘼𝐺𝐺𝐵 is going to be taken down.
Well, Well, if there's anything that you can really count on Texture for, no matter the situation, it's gonna be his opping. And I mean, even though you suspect that he's on top of the wall, what can you do when he's got the better angle with the operator?
Oh, okay. Good hold. Foxy jiggling back and forth, eventually decides to just hold the angle. Finds Bazzi as well. And I was gonna mention, it was like the last time that Sushi Boys died first,
Nice,
he lost
nice.
the round.
Thank you, Fox.
We'll see if that happens again.
3v3 देने के लिए thank you.
Well, they're primed a little bit better than they have been. Of course, the res finally coming through. Gonna be able to cycle out that weapon as well for Texture if he wants to switch to a rifle.
Nice,
and Aaron starting
Aaron.
things off with another kill.
Oh, darn it. I mean, seeing Aaron wants to push the issue, but
Aaron भाई आराम
just
से. Aaron भाई.
overswing. There's no one coming out of Raptors
Nice.
to find that
Nice.
finish, but in the end, it won't matter.
Let's
Lightning
go,
Fast will
guys.
finish off Cruz with the paint
Guys,
shells, and it's going to be a
LKC.
9-half for Global.
I mean, you can say all you want,
LKC
that
बोलते
split
हैं.
is a deep
नहीं हो रहा है.
sided map, and it still is here in the Pacific despite the map changes ever so slightly. However, 9-3, this is one of those scorelines where if you don't win the pistol, you're in trouble.
Yeah, this could be very, very brutal here. We'll see, though. I mean, for now, I mean, Global just look unstoppable. The way that they're playing this, it's just pretty much getting the better and outpacing and outshooting Talon at every twist and turn.
Yeah, and let's say it like it is, right? Yes, overall, they're calling in general. First of all, the foundations always seem to be there. The theory seemed good. But the reason that they weren't
Guys,
rated
गोलू
as
खेल
high
रहा है.
as before
उस
at the
खुशी में
start of
मैं
the
ये
season
गेम के
Pacific
बाद
was because the execution
2000
was
VP
lacking.
giveaway
Either
करूंगा,
not all
guys.
5 players were really playing, you know, in form, or their communication was just a
ठीक
little
है.
off, right? The utility wasn't really in sync.
2000
But
में
that has
कितना
been
दे
growing
सकते हैं?
week to week.
By
And
Valorant
now,
point.
the fact that they can bring in Lightning Fast
हाँ,
to
20-50
start on his
VP दूंगा, guys.
debut map
गोलू के
here
खेलने
in
की खुशी
BCG
में.
Pacific, 1 week after he lands in Seoul, and this is the performance we're getting, this is very promising for the squad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell. he was not resting on his laurels while back in India. He wasn't just waiting around for that passport to arrive. He's been grinding.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. And now, just a couple
Are
more
we
rounds
audible
to
on
go.
stream?
mean,
I think so,
Pistol
Darshan.
Effectively looking at, almost being guaranteed to get up to 11.
Yeah.
2 more and you close out, and that's map
आज
1.
अकेले
Done.
हाँ इधर थोड़ा
Very
सेटअप में
quick
जगह नहीं है गाइस राइट
amount of
लेफ्ट लोगों को
time.
बिठाने का.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it hasn't
Hey,
been
Devi,
that
I'm
slow. I
good.
mean, part of it, of course, Talon
Guru
always
equals
kind
to
of
good luck,
forcing the
Sabri.
issue because for the first half of this attacking half for them, they had to use so much
Guru
just
guys,
to gain
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना.
information about Global Esports, and then they just had to kind of run in.
एक गेम के बाद 20-50 VP giveaway.
And Global Esports, they were always
Guru
prepared.
खेल रहा है
They
बस मैं
weren't
वही खुश
already
हूँ.
set
अपना
up,
लौंडा
you
खेल
know,
रहा
to
है.
counter the
G
5v5.
fighting.
They were make sure they were in position to buy time. I mean, yes, things like the
Guys, सब Saturday क्या है? ये पुराने लोगों लगाया है सब. Old
but
logos.
again, stuff like that has been consistent, right? It's not just like that one round that bought them the entire half.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can do it again on the attacking
Guru
side.
doing आसपास
Double
stuff.
aces,
देखो
Forsaken, but pistols.
सुना भी नहीं आसपास के
Well,
लेवल
that
पे
would
अभी
be a
नहीं है
record
गोलू
for
पर
sure that I
बन
don't
जाएगा.
think would be beaten
Well,
anytime soon.
Speaking
Don't
of
worry.
records, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room right now as we go into the pistol round. It's global.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's Global
true.
Esports. Their pistol win rate from lock-in till now is absolutely
No crowd sound.
superb.
It's incredible. Yeah, if you include lock-in, by far the strongest pistol team here in Pacific. See if they can do it on the attacking side. The setup right now, again, it's just to watch out for any sort of pushes over from Talon. I mean, literally both, and all across the map, they're waiting for pushes over in mid. They're also trying to bait out the utility use from Talon while not getting spotted by it. I love the way they're doing this. Aaron, the only one getting spotted by that 0 point over on A.
Slow and steady to start things off. And just as an update prior to this map, 10-6 in Pacific, and then if you add the 6 pistol round wins from lock-in on top of that, 16-6.
16-6 is a ridiculous stat for just pistol rounds.
Yes. So, quite good. And compare that to Talon's without lock-in stats,
Nice,
4 and
guys,
10.
ये
So
info
you're
तो नहीं
looking
दे
at
रहा है अभी.
10-6 versus a 4 and 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
just flipped on its head, really. I mean, that just shows the dominance that Global has had, and the setup is good once again. I mean, just because they got no information, Talon was actually so scared to push out. Of course, they're playing on their back foot as well. Now that guiding light, thankfully, buys just enough time for backup to arrive. Sushi Boys, he needs to stay alive here. Just hold on to Vents. That's all you need to do.
Lightning bow. Okay.
कोई बात नहीं गोलू कोई बात
Now,
नहीं.
if that happened in the very first round, we could say, all right, you know, first time jitters on the stage, but he was playing so well in the first
Yeah, you know, there's not much excuse for that one, but we'll see if the rest of the team can go ahead and make up for it. Texture gonna
ये
lose boost over
texture
top
का ही
of the
wall
wall.
है.
Garnet's waiting
क्या
nearby.
चालक का है.
He thinks about the paint shells, decides to wait. jump out, will get tagged down to 52. They're running out of time. They have to get this plant down. Cruz able to find an elimination. Garnet's going to be taking up 2 more for himself.
भाई ये पिस्टल राउंड में क्या हुआ थोड़ा नहीं समझ में आया पर कोई बात नहीं.
Here from the side of Global, they go ahead and they drop the first pistol in the series.
Yeah,
Golu nervous नहीं होना Golu, let's go.
Raise in a mishap like that obviously hurts, especially in a single duelist on a map like Split. Not many other ways that you can get through. Goes just a little too far forward. I think his pain shows he intended it to really land back at the door, and it just kind of lands on the box there, so he gets caught off guard.
I think he was willing to eat the damage. The problem was the vulnerable that he took from the
Golu
same
बोला
fight.
कि
So he took way more
Talon
damage than he was
को
anticipating.
एक एडवांटेज की
Yeah,
जरूरत
yeah,
है.
that's gotta be it, 'cause
नहीं
he
तो वो
was
लोग
right
नहीं
at the
जीत
edge
पाएंगे
there.
गाइस. तो गोलू ने सेल्फ सैक्रिफाइस कर
We're
दिया.
just gonna have to shake that off now. Of course, just gonna save full here on the second
समझ
round
रहे हो
of
कि
their
नहीं?
attacking half, going with all classics.
Again, heavy presence here in mid. Just Texture splitting off over towards Garage, seeing if there's any forward aggression on that side of the map.
Taking that back.
Boombot let loose by Garnet. So just let Lightning Fast clear it. They start drifting over. Pings are coming
Where
down.
are you? I am at
One is
the view
occupying the
party
site
in
itself, but
Mumbai,
there's
bro.
3
Global
members
Esports view
nearby,
party.
all up in heaven.
Now, they don't have a Sage wall either, right? So they're just going to have to rely on
ये G
nothing,
wins these
actually.
rounds.
We don't have any stars
ऐसा
ready
लग
for
रहा है.
Munyet. I was going to say the single star for Munyet, but it's not going to happen. They're just going to have to creep in.
Starting to walk across, takes a couple attempts, but Sushi Boys will find 2 kills in the end. Gets himself a 3rd as well. See if they can get this plant, but I mean, Spike out in the open. Tucked away here on the side is Aaron, and gets both of them in the head. Sets up for 𝐼𝐍𝐊𝐒 to do at least a bit of damage, but being tagged down to 36. Cruz now being reinforced by Fox up in the rafters. Yeah, that will be the closeout. So a singular kill found here in the eco round from
Wait,
Global.
where?
TALON to
Anti-social.
pick up 2 in a row.
चलो चलो गाइस. अभी निकालते गाइस.
First
अभी बाय
time.
राउंड है अपना.
And
ये राउंड अपन टपाटप
getting off the
देंगे.
ground.
Yes, and you know, we talked about how obviously it was going to be so tough if they didn't win the pistol, but now that you've won the pistol and the continuing round, you know, the anti-eco, that means that you're actually in okay position here on Split, right? If you can just continue and make sure that Global Esports has to actually work for their attacking side, then you should be able to at least buy enough time to get somewhere to a scoreline like a 9-10 or, you know, 11-9, something like that.
It's got a brief look to 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒e stats, having a not fully silent carry performance, but his impact definitely being felt.
3 more increase करो गाइस. सबको ऐसा ही लग रहा है तो
Yeah,
increase
I mean,
करता
he's
हूँ.
been fragging out.
अगर
We were
एक
talking
जन को
about
ऐसा
this
लग रहा है
before
तो
the
नहीं
match
करना.
started, where 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒, sometimes he's not the fragger, but his flashes are so good. Today, the frags are on top as well.
Oh, the gun barrel scene.
कैसा है मेरे को?
Finn gets a couple taps. They are able to exit.
Well, Lightning Fast, very thankful that it's a Bulldog on the other side.
Barely surviving, but not really able to inch their way forward onto that site. Let's see where they decide to end up now. Goes for the creep up. Moves up, and I mean, this mid position, fence widely abandoned. Determines from the flash. And looks like he will just go ahead and get situated, tucked away by himself, while the rest of the team gets go ahead and get stacked up over here at A main.
Yeah, now usually this setup would allow you to rotate to B if need be after taking control of Heaven, but with the timer at 30 seconds, they're actually going to have to commit just one way or the other. You can't dilly-dally up here in Heaven. Now that Snakebite's going to buy enough time where they can't possibly rotate.
It helps slow things up, but the spray through the wall, Texture will be able to find Sushi Boys. Now that'll drop. But yeah, they need to try to make something happen here pretty quick. Lightning Fast getting tagged up mid-air. Pat able to find Aaron. Landing into the back of sight. It does end up being evacuated, and now they can go ahead and get this plant down as 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒e looks to offer up some healing to the rest of his teammates. Everybody back to 100.
Well, they are all stuck, though. They're going to have to scurry away. Garnet's with the judge. He wants to take control of elbow, and he's dead for 2!
Oh my God! Garnet's off the top rope. Able to find 2.
Nikalta 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒e.
And he's good for 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒e. What did you eat today? A triple kill to clutch it and deny TALON from converting. What a play.
भाई मजा आ गया भाई.
Once Garnet's had that perfect play with the judge on that raise, I thought the retake was going to be a piece of cake, but 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐒e is just a different animal today.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, he's getting pressured from the flank, down to 3 bullets even. And with that last bullet,
Okay, so
he closes it.
Yeah, the first kill on Garnet's is just patience and determination. then it's game sense, knowing that the shots were coming through the screen, but then it's reaction time at the end.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
That's the full package
go.
you want in one of your players here in the VCT.
Wow. What a way to end that round. And
मजा आ गया.
I'm sure Eraser at a certain point, I mean, he probably called the timeout beforehand.
Yes.
And then he was like, oh, actually, well, all right, well, I'll talk to him anyway. This is my first timeout burn. I've got 2 to use in the second half. So we'll go forward with it. But, oh, so very close. Still a lot of damage dealt there by Talon.
Yes.
So only 1 rifle going to be held on to. So this still
Haji bhai ke
puts
पीछे full
Global
support
in
है
a bit of
भाई.
a tricky situation for their attack. We'll have to
पूरे
see
G
what
के
they decide
पीछे
to
कुछ
do.
support है.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
he does have those Seekers on.
yes, I
support
mean,
है.
that's the big thing, right? So probably the timeout itself, Eraser, you know, that wasn't going to change one way or the other. He's fine with it. But the content of it might have changed now that the Seekers are online. So even though you only have 1 hero rifle, you're actually going to put it on lightning fast. If you're going to put it on your entry, this has to be a rush in, right? I mean, you're just relying on him getting a kill. Even if he gets traded, someone else picks it up, and they can continue that Phantom forward.
But look at where their money is at. This is like inverse Carmine Corp. They have so much money. They're not even buying down towards a reasonable degree.
Oh, Lightning Fast not able to dodge that one, but he gets covered.
The covering fire is there from Texture, and then he gets the blind off just in time for Sushi Boys to push the wall.
Lightning Fast and surviving full flashes, name a better combo, because he's doing it constantly.
I don't know how he's getting away with it, but he absolutely should not be. The covering fire is perfect from Texture, and you know, I'm talking about how little they bought, and now I'm thinking about how big their bank account's going to be after this one.
I mean, yeah, this is one of those ways where they can say no matter what ults they get, we're going to get match point first, no matter what. And Monyet already on the flank, on that little screen on our right.
And they are not necessarily reading this.
Monet buy करना भूल गया guys.
So
take him down, and Monyet swings out the fine box, and there you go.
Monet buy करना भूल गया है भाई.
11th round locked in. Global making the most out of their timeout and pulling off, frankly, a miracle.
Yes, I mean, I don't think that was the round they had in mind, right? That was the picture they painted during the timeout. I think, especially with how fast they went with just the double blast pack coming out from Lightning Fast, I think the idea was just strike hard, strike fast, as many trades as possible to let the Phantom be picked up by someone else. And then if we can get a plant, great. You know, if it comes down to like a 3v3, maybe then we use our Seekers. But yeah, it works out with a double kill start.
It's so mind-boggling. A round where you have 1 rifle carried over, you give it to your Raze.
Oh,
He gets full flash and then saved by a bunch of dudes with
My bad.
My
bad. Hero rifle on
Sheriffs,
देखा नहीं
buying
guys.
to 2100, buying to 1800 to 1600.
Yeah, which they have the money for, yes.
They just were like, no, buying nothing. And it worked.
Oh boy. Well, somebody send this VOD over to our
My bad. मैं noob
favorite
लग रहा हूँ
egg
इसमें मेरे को
and
मालूम है.
perhaps our team over there in EMEA as well, because lessons to be learned here. Oh, Foxy. The way they set up their crossfires and baits, right? They know that if they're not going to be tagged, someone has to push out on the side of Talon. They have no other way of continuing to gain information. Now, the pin is a desperation move just to buy time.
Yeah, he's going to throw this in. Does not have a judge to try to hold it with, just the stinger. But, I mean, they could just say, screw it, reroute, go through mid, cut over towards B site.
They know where he is, too, because of the Trailblazer. And the fact that the Trailblazer was used right away allows them to get into heaven, right? That means that they don't have to worry about him holding close with something like a judge.
But yeah, I mean, he's
This
just
side, let's go.
now has to abandon the pit. That'll get dropped in a moment. Yep, can't get back in there in time. So it does go down, and I mean, this tells him exactly where he is. They know he has to be ramped now.
Yeah, because he didn't come back into sight, that's for sure. And now Vents has been taken as well. Oh, Sushi Boys does win the fight against Texture. A little bit of hope.
Catching him on the opposite side of that wall.
The rifle is still in favor of Global Esports.
Into a 4v4. Lightning Fast tucked away here. Pings out, knows that somebody's playing up top, and now Pat doing his damnedest to try to flash himself in through that back elbow, but in the end will fall. Garnet's with 2, Cruz with 1. Suddenly it's all on Monyet to try to finish things off. He's going for a reload! And the Sushi Boys will take him down. And it's another just unexpected turnaround here with Talon being able to close out the round. They're denying that match point away. 1 second exactly remaining on the spike. And this one just slipping out of Global's hands.
Yeah, but guess what?
चलेगा guys. कोई नहीं. We are just giving them
so
a chance.
They still have about 2 rounds worth of creds here that they can pull by coming into the next one. So not too concerned, but it is important to mention that, again, there is a big difference between match point and just being at 11, right? Because match point at least guarantees overtime. You can be a little bit more lax with what you want to go through in the future rounds. Whereas 11, at a certain point, you're going to feel the pressure of, okay, we got to take some risks to secure that match point.
This half. It's been bizarre. I mean, and look at their money. They're still fine.
Yes.
GE is still so well off. Absolutely insanity. The Sushi Boy's going to be driven forward, takes a little bit of damage from the paint shells. Trailblazer, yep, it identifies and gets the fight as well. Lightning Fast pushes up to find the kill.
Great हो गया अपना रेस
There's
देगा
going to be good cover and trades from Pat, though.
चारों
But
mid
that
आएंगे
does
भी
mean
रेस
they still
करेंगे
lost their Viper, right? So a crucial agent in terms of simply buying time in a certain section of the map.
But Sushi Boy's dying
Ooh,
first.
statistically, that does lead to some wins here for Talon.
It's looking good.
The win conditions have been met. We're on course for another victory.
हाँ पर उनका result है
That
जैसे अपन
sacrificial
रेस
lamb.
करेंगे
Aaron now going to be tucked away. Two people getting ready to push in. Do they
They
read this? Oh,
Nice
it's
raid.
going to be yes, but Aaron doesn't suspect there's a second.
Yeah, I mean, Pat, trading in mid, trading in A, he's doing the most he can.
Oh, boy.
Oh!
How does Munyan win that? Well, the man's pushing out. He jumps over the showstopper.
30 seconds.
What is happening in this map?
ये क्या
Does he
था
just
भाई
have a special ability called Super Jump? Because he jumps on the spring and he gets boosted up by the Sage Wall, which that was what really threw off the aim. But then he jumps over the showstopper.
Like Mario jumping over a bullet bill. So casually. And now I know exactly where Pat's at. He's going to try to flash for himself, swings in, will get one.
चलो चलो
But in the end, it's a team ace as Bazzi finishes the job and brings it to map point. William, what in the hell am I watching?
Let's go
I
GE
have no idea. And here's
Let's
the thing.
go
it's-
GE
I mean, well, that's watch. from
Let's
his
go,
point of view.
GE.
Jumps off the wall. Wow. And here's the
Chalo,
thing. If that
guys.
showstopper had landed actually on that wall
Bonnet,
directly next to
I'm
him, he would have gone.
bonnet,
But it actually
bhai.
goes right towards the
Neera
stage
londai, guys.
wall.
I think it might have actually gone past him on the side rather than under him.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Either way, it looks really funny.
Wow. I mean.
And if I'm Garnet, I'm pissed.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is something that tilts you even just a little bit, no matter what position you're in. And here's the thing: if they were barely scraping by wins, maybe
भाई
we
गोलू
joke
का
about,
देखना है
okay,
guys,
the
मेरे को
heroics are
रोजा
coming
alt
into play,
करता
but
है
the
कि
thing is,
क्या
even
करता है
without that, they've had such a good lead, and on top of that, this is just salt in the wounds.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, another stinger here in the hand. Sushi Boys. Let's just flush out any kind of vent pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, you have crews with 1 point away from the Cosmic Divide, but they don't have the firepower to confidently push out,
इतना
secure a
utility
part
डालने
of the
पर
map,
space
and
नहीं ले
then
रहे
secure
थे।
the ultimate orbs. I mean, you look at the map, they're playing so far back as if they have the perfect retake set up, but they don't. I mean, they have the null command, but the way they're positioned, I mean, they're flooding A site, they have a member in B site. You're just trying to hope that you win
जानबूझ के
your
spot
duels
हो
when the
गए
entry
भाई।
happens on the
चलो,
side of
चलो।
Global Esports.
There.
Slowed down. 40 seconds remaining. Wall, just a cut off fence. They'll start storming their way in towards heaven. Lightning Fast getting cut
30
off. Everybody
seconds
backing away from the paint shells. No damage really taken. See if they can get themselves in here. Oh, the vulnerable is out. Garnet's able to deal with Lightning Fast quite quickly. Last pack as well takes Aaron down to a sliver of HP. The second one intercepted by Tech.
Nice
Aaron,
hit,
despite having 3 HP, managing to find a kill.
They know where he is. Oh!
Pat now needs to win.
Ah, GG बोलते
Monkey is the
हैं
last man standing. Will find a third kill to go ahead and finish the
Let's
match.
go.
13-6. Global
Let's go
on their
keep
map selection of
fighting
split,
guys गोलू
making
की
it look
खुशी में
easy.
2050 VP
What
अभी
an
गिव अवे कर रहा हूँ guys
impressive
आ जाओ
show
पहले
of skill
celebration
of
देख
your
लेंगे
Global
फिर
Esports. I mean, this is, I'll be very honest, I think this is the type of play a lot
Guys,
of people
2050
joked
VP
about Global
giveaway.
Esports being able to
do
succeed
it.
in this season, right? Yes, the potential was there, but how are you going to build that up so fast by getting over the language barriers, getting all these jet mains, play something else, and of course we
अभी
even
करते
have
हैं,
some
चलो
fans
guys।
over from, Oceania cheering for
ऐसे
Ronsky.
ही-
Of course, I mean, he's been putting up
Right.
great numbers in the previous matches as well,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then now you put in Lightning Fast
हो
for
गया
at
ना?
least split. We'll see if any changes happen in the
Let's
coming
go guys
matches, but
2050 VP
everyone
Giveaway
continuing
करते हैं,
to grow
गोलू के-
individually, and then the comms and calls just perfectly insane.
रुकेगा एक सेकंड गोलू के खेलने की खुशी में गिव अवे कर रहा
What
है
a way to
क्या
start
करे
off the map. Money in from the
keyword
very beginning. The ace jumping
exclamation
over the showstopper, the spray downs
lightning
in
fast
mid
लिख
to
दे
the Viper's pit.
lightning
Guy was having a whale of a
fast
time.
guys
But Baz,
चैनल
well,
को
I mean,
सब्सक्राइब करना है
there was not
और
really
अपने
a
सोशल्स
weak
को
link,
फॉलो
it
करना है
seemed
तो
like,
ही
in
आप
this
कंसीडर किए
iteration
जाओगे
of
लेट्स
Global
गो
on this map. Everybody looked absolutely drilled.
Subscribe to
Aaron,
the channel,
Wiley,
huh?
his reads were fantastic.
2050
I think aside
गोलू
from
खेला ना आज मैं
lightning
बोला
fast
25
jumping into his own nade while being
2000
vulnerable,
ये दे रहा
Viper's
Valorant
point,
point
that's
गोलू
kind of
खेला
the
वाला
only
मजा आ गया
big mistake that we had seen. And for a guy making his debut,
guys you have to
specific for
subscribe to the
first
channel
time
Instagram
after
Twitter follow
not
करो
being here until a
बस
week ago,
हो गया और
I think he
exclamation
played
lightning
incredibly
fast
well.
लिखो
Oh, absolutely. We got to give him huge props. But I like that
मैंने
you
spelling
mentioned that
बरोबर
there was
लिखे
not
ना
a single
LIGH
weak link, right? Even though, sure, Aaron may not have been, fragging out because he doesn't have to. But on that side, and we should know that in previous matches we've seen, Aaron sometimes he would get caught off guard a little bit, right? Focusing on that IGLing. I'm going to say, okay, well, you know what? He is the IGL 1 or 2 rounds.
guys socials follow नहीं करोगे तो मैं reroll कर दूंगा पहले ही बता रहा हूँ
while calling for his team and making sure his teammates are set up to win these trades and duels.
Yeah. Well, fantastically done. That's one map out of the way. Global, if they want to get their first match victory under the belt, so they're going to have to show us icons, show us what they do have prepared for that map. Yes, I ditched the jacket. I felt
okay,
like
guys.
a Bible salesman.
500 लोग पे roll
You know
करूंगा
what? That also map was
बढ़ेगा
very
थोड़ा
fire,
time
so
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
understandable. It is actually kind
Let's
of
go,
warm
guys.
here.
आ जाओ, आ
I
जाओ.
actually wish I had taken my jacket off now that I'm looking at you. But what
Okay,
an
guys,
incredible
rolling
map.
it
And
in
I like that
3,
you mentioned also we haven't seen the Icebox yet from
2,
Global Esports. That we have seen it
1.
several times from Talon. Of course, the
Let's
last
roll.
time they finally picked up the Harbor composition.
Okay,
they were trying to
below
make it work for
average
themselves. They
Rossi
did get a
fan,
victory,
आप
even
जीत
though
गए हो.
I would say not off
Lightning
the back of
fast
the
का
Harbor
giveaway.
utility.
Yeah.
Are you there?
It's time to...
Below average Rossi
We'll see
fan.
how all that goes. But it's time to go to a commercial break, and then the desk is going to break everything down. I won't spoil who is what's going on.
Are you
but
there? Are you there?
there might
जल्दी
be some
जल्दी
movement
1
on
मिनट का
stage.
टाइम देता हूँ.
I'll leave you with that. We'll see you
Yes
guys
sir.
after the break.
Instagram पे मुझे आपका Instagram ID बताओ और मैसेज कर दो.
Kick over on B.
बताओ Instagram ID आपका.
Still alive.
But I mean, Garden's not paying attention as much yet. Oh, he's doing it again.
Don't worry guys, अपन एक और गिव अवे करेंगे ये गेम के बाद, नेक्स्ट गेम मैप के बाद. अगर रॉसी ने जेट खेला, गाइस वापस से 2000 वॉइस की Valorant पॉइंट गिव अवे करेंगे.
And Aaron's still alive.
Swing over towards the cross.
This
audio. Push in, oh, the full blind lightning fast. Takes him down. Will fall to cruise over the garage. This might be suppressed coming in. The secret finds him.
आयुष आप तो फॉलो नहीं करते हो.
Crosshair placement off.
ओ नहीं, आयुष अंडरस्कोर नहीं है. Sorry.
Go ahead, pop it now.
हाँ नहीं, आयुष you don't follow me. I think I have to reroll it.
Holtby died first.
I'll have to reroll it guys. शायद से नहीं नहीं नहीं. Oh yes yes you do. वो दो अलग आयुष थे. My bad. Okay guys, अभी के लिए करंट स्ट्रीम टेक ओवर करेगा. I'll be back before the second map. हाँ. Okay, कार्तिक टेक ओवर कर रहा है guys. कार्तिक टेकिंग ओवर द स्ट्रीम. 1 मिनट आया. स्ट्रीम. क्या हाल है दोस्तों? चैट किधर है? चैट Hello boys, I have taken over the stream. Hello, nice to meet you guys. कार्तिक गोलू ने तो बहुत अच्छा मारा आज भाई, मजा आ गया आज. पीछे ऑडियंस की आवाज नहीं आ रही. आई थिंक वो फिल्टर लगा हुआ है नॉइस सप्रेशन का. यो पार्थ इज हियर गाइस. इंटर्न जोड़ी. बात कुछ बोलो जरा, क्या बोलना चाहते हो आप? लेट्स गो जीतेंगे. क्या लगता है गाइस? 2-1 2-0 क्या लगता है? इंटर्न्स को रेस कब मिलेगा? क्वेश्चन तो अच्छा है, पूछता हूँ. 2-0 तो है. दिल्ली वॉच पार्टी सून वेरी सून. इंटर्न्स भी आएंगे, फिर आ जाओ तुम भी. इंटर्न्स का जॉब क्या होता है? इंटर्न्स का जॉब होता है गाली खाना.
नहीं
जैसे अगर अपने बजट विद भाविन नहीं बिग ब्रेन बजट में
बिग ब्रेन बसड़
बिग ब्रेन बजट में मिस्टर एक और इंटर्न है हमारा
करण
बहुत गाली खाता है
करण कैप्शन ऑन द शीट यस
मेरा नाम ले तुझे आने का नहीं
ए करण वैसे बसड़ बिग ब्रेन बसड़ कैसा लग रहा है तुमको एक नया एपिसोड ओह शिट लीक कर दिया मैंने शिट ओह शिट लीक कर दिया अरे अरे Why करण एक बार बता Why are you called interns and not winterns बता जरा बता जरा लिखा तो अच्छा है बहुत लिखा तो अच्छा है बहुत अच्छा है लाइटनिंग फास्ट बोलते हैं किस मैच पे है वो लीक करो अरे लीक नहीं कर सकता यार ए करण करण है ना बसड़ में करण
क्या
नेक्स्ट एपिसोड बसड़ का कौन से मैच के ऊपर है लीक कर सकता तू
नीचे फेंक देगा
पोपा जी फेंक देंगे करण को ये तो कैप्शन लिख रहा था ना इसलिए मेरे को स्ट्रीम पे बैठाना तूने ये देखो मेरे को बैठाया उसने बोला कार्तिक तू बैठ जा मैं कैप्शन लिख रहा हूँ इधर आ गया फिर टाइम पास करने Where is पोपा जी करण दोनों स्ट्रीम सिंक हो जाए तब नॉइस कैंसलेशन हटा दो
You're watching
पोपा जी को
VCT
बोलता हूँ मैं
Pacific, and we just completed map 1, and we can see why Global Esports made DRX sweat just a bit on this map too.
पीछे क्या चल रहा है अभी वॉच पार्टी चल रहा है ब्रेक है
Just a bit.
मैच चालू होगा तो वापस इंटर्न सब नीचे चले
Just
जाएंगे
a bit. Talon was struggling there.
Yeah, I think it was quite a bit for GE versus DRX on this map, especially. GE shows
गेम
that
तो
they
बहुत अच्छा
have
था
that
मॉनिट का
structure,
एज देख के
they
मजा आ
have
गया
those procedures in knowing how to take
Oh,
map control.
it's
And
Malav.
also in
What's up,
retakes,
Malav?
especially during this first half against Talon.
Analysts बोलते
You could see there was also a bit of a skill diff with the individual plays from Manyat, from Batsy, like these big highlight reel individual clutches that, you know, one round
देश ज़्यादा मेरा
for
फोटो
GE
खींच
when
रहा
it looked like they had no business winning them. So it's a lot of different things. I think you're absolutely right that overall, like, the map control is better. You can see there when they move to their attacker side, they basically have
नेक्स्ट
like,
मैप चालू होने
such a
वाला है
good read
गाइस
on how to get into A, how to utilize the
रिप्लाई
space
दे दो
that
भाई
they're
एनी
given,
डेटा साइंस
from the
रिलेटेड
side of
इंटर्नशिप्स
talent to,
अवेलेबल
you know, get the
देखो
plan down
जैसे ही
and
वील
work from there.
जैसे भी
So
आर अप फॉर हायरिंग ना
I was
सोशल्स
very
में
pleasantly surprised with this.
we'll
I mean,
put it up on our
I've been
socials
talking Batsy up for a while, and
whether it be data
you can see
science
why. He's a very,
graphic
very strong
designing,
player. I got
editing,
to
anything.
watch him a lot over
Karthik
the
bhai
last
have to get a
couple
body
years,
like
you know,
you
whether he was on Crazy
CZ bro
Raccoon,
just
or on
lift
Slayers.
and eat
I know what this guy's capable
अभी मेरी body
of
इतनी
at
अच्छी
his
कहाँ पर
best,
है
and
अभी I'm
it
just
is a
working
high ceiling.
to
Yeah.
get more fit
He made a real showing today. Now, we did talk about today being Monday, and Manya definitely showed up straight off the bat in round 1 with a
Just a
classic.
Monyet Monday.
Just a Monday. You're not even kidding. I mean, look at how he
guys
played this. Two
रॉसी
stars.
खेलेगा
None of
hopefully
it
next match
wasn't
hope तो मेरे
his,
को भी है
but Dak
मुझे भी
ducked
पता नहीं
out
अभी
of it,
next match का
came
roster
back
क्या
around
होने
the
वाला है
pillar, got two right
मेरे को
clicks,
तो
got another one, and he finishes off.
टीम
with
चालू
it.
होने
This
के
is just the
5 मिनट
first
पहले पता
friggin'
लगा कि गोलू भी खेल
round.
रहा है
How do you? I know it's Monday, but that's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. With an
Late
Iron
night
Buddy
कितने
too.
बजे
Like
workout?
Iron,
कभी भी
Iron
काम
ranks
के बाद
people
घर
everywhere were
पहुंचूंगा
like,
12-1
"Yeah,
बजे
Mandyet's my hero." It was pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's just spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like we just had gotten settled into our seats. Like,
Malo
you watch the match,
Popat,
and all of a sudden, it's like Monyet.
teach me
and I'm
Valorant,
like,
bro.
well, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like we're just
On
right
Split.
back to
Here we
square
go
one on
again.
I
Split.
need
And
to
that's
escape
exciting. I
ascendant
mean,
hell
he's clearly comfortable on that map. We've seen him work, especially that B pillar to perfection. He
हेलो
I saw some really good blast packing, which again is the thing that, like, for me, I'm actually more focused on with these players. Is like, okay, cool, everybody. can
आवाज
throw
नहीं आ
boom
रहा है
bots.
स्ट्रीम का
Like everybody can throw a boom bot.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
Yeah.
What impresses
आवाज
me
नहीं
is
आ
the
रहा है
blast packing. And I
स्ट्रीम
saw
का
some really good deep ones, and that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how you take space as a duelist, and he's done a great job of it. And if this
नहीं,
is how
हाँ,
he
भी है।
debuts, you know, I think it's a good showing. It
आ रहा है
makes
अभी,
you
आवाज
want
आ
to
रहा है।
see more, especially just on this map split. The fact that he's a new player, and
भाई
then
स्ट्रीम ठीक चल रहा है क्या अभी?
𝘍𝐻𝐿𝐼 comes in. I don't know. Like Global is a team that has quite a bit of potential. On the other hand, it really breaks your heart to see talent like this, Vic.
Okay. Let's talk about talent. This is their second split map that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Both times it has not been going well. What is going wrong? Like what can they do better? We're going to Icebox in the next map. This Icebox is Talon's pick. I think maybe Talon might have not wanted to split either, but that was not their choice.
Hey,
what do we want to see in an Icebox?
It sounds basic to say, but there's a little bit of lack of coordination. Like we saw with the triple duelist,
Sorry
that
guys,
was a little less
stream
surprising
बंद
in
हो
a
गई
way.
थी।
But clearly, like,
For
they don't
reasons
fight for
unknown.
space in the same way that you saw GE fighting, right? Like, there's always crossfires, almost always, for GE off the rip. Whereas Talon's a lot more individual-based and
Rush in.
Yeah, rush in and try to just win your peak fights and that kind of thing. And that's okay if you're really, really good,
Hello,
like
Molo.
PaperX. But like, you know, when you don't have that same level of explosive firepower that PaperX does, you know, not to diss on anybody on Talon, but when they were at their best, in my opinion, at lock-in, was when they're playing together. Like the utility coordination is there, and then everybody follows up on it. I'm not seeing that as much.
Yeah, I think that's something that we kind of need to talk about, or at least explore, because their performance at lock-in was the best that we've seen so far. I mean, they took down great teams. They had such a great performance. They took a map off DRX. This hasn't happened yet. Maybe, I don't know, we got to see that lock-in roster again. Maybe Pat needs to take a step back, and maybe we'll have
जब हम खाते रहते हैं, आप भी बोलो एक बार G fighting
because whatever it is that they're trying right now, going this fast and off of individual plays, they seem a bit disjointed, disconnected. It's not really working. You know, we've got Fox kind of underperforming. Garnett, who is really great, by the way. He was the top fragger for this map, but it's kind of inconsistent sometimes. And there are just so many of these tiny things that kind of all compile. You know, the little things add up. And it really factors into this performance.
पेट अभी भर गया पूरा।
You know, they
पेट ही भर गया अभी
we
पूरा।
thought they did pretty well in Pro against DRX last week. They banned it, now we're going into Icebox. They have to perform here because
at least they've won on it. I mean, they got that going for them.
Papa,
they beat
एक मिनट बैठेगा क्या?
So, and they look good against DRX.
एक मिनट आया मेरा,
right?
पापा आ रहा है।
Are they gonna, you know, swap it like you're saying? I think they should go back to that Garnet. I agree with you that I think the Garnet Jet Boys combo is probably the best version of them that we've seen. So maybe it's time to, as good as individually as Pat is, it doesn't seem like he's always on the same page as the rest of the team potentially. So I would like to see that lock-in roster and at least give it another shot for another week or two at the end of this, just to see if maybe that can be the future.
Right. Now we are going into map 2 Icebox, as we've mentioned. And again, today is high stakes. A team that does not walk away winning is gonna struggle to make it into playoffs. These are the two bottom ranking teams at the moment, even though both of them have showed clear potential. Now I'm very curious if SK Rossi is still gonna be out, or if he's gonna be coming in, if there are gonna be any roster switches.
He's sitting right there. He's using a final mouse too.
Ooh, nice.
All right. This is great.
Yeah,
this is so exciting. You know, Lightning Fast again played fine. I thought that was a decent debut for him. You know, he had some great play behind him, some good shot calling, and now with Rossi in here, I'm curious to see what role he's going to fill. If he's going to continue to be that Sova like we saw at lock-in, or if maybe they've got something else dialed up here. Yeah.
He tweeted out an interesting graphic that had Jet in it today.
Oh, really?
That's a little spicy.
Boy.
Looks like Pat's still in for the side of
क्या लगता है 2-0 होगा? मुझे तो लगता है 2-0 ही होगा.
Do or die, heaven or hell. If they don't make their way out of Icebox, then their opponent next week is going to be Zeta, who has been showing up like mad on the kill feed with Death lighting things up. So they're in trouble, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like their roster hasn't changed. Talon, what are we expecting from SK Rossi?
He is on the Jet.
Okay. Twitter.
Confirm.
I mean, this has kind of been a common theme here we've seen in the last couple weeks, is that the duelists who need to shift
for
potentially another duelist go to the Killjoy. It is
ऐसे अच्छा व्यू चालू है मत
yeah, exactly, right? Forsaken is the first person you think of that did that, right?
Let's go, guys. Rossi खेल रहा है, and Rossi is playing Jet, guys.
I guess it could kind of make sense if you just have that anchoring potential and you're able.
Guys, जो भी कल आए थे स्ट्रीम पे अभी दो 10-10 रुपए तुम लोगों ने बोला था 10-10 रुपए जीपे करोगे रॉसी जेट खेलेगा तो.
A little bit interesting is that we have the slight difference in initiators. Fox back on the Sova for Icebox, and both teams going with that tried and true now Viper Harbor composition.
I'm just watching them right now. I'm so
सुपर चैट करो चलेगा 10-10 रुपए मैं यूट्यूब को दूंगा 3-3 पर सब लोग कर तू स्ट्रीम बंद करके चला गया
final map for today. It's going to be Icebox.
कैसे
For game 2 we have Talon.
अच्छा
Global Esports. Let's go talk to our casters 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐿𝐒 and William.
Thank you very much, and oh boy, yeah, Rossi's in, and he's also
Let's go,
playing
guys.
Jet.
Rossi
Now
on
gonna be
Jet.
initiator position like we
Let's
saw
go,
from
baby.
over at
G
Lock.
fighting bolte guys. G
I mean, last time
fighting.
we saw him play Duelist was in the what was it, the Gecko show match.
Oh yeah, actually
versus
you're
Team
right. He
Derek.
did play it there.
So
I
that
forgot
was
about that.
That was pretty much the last
10,000
time.
super chat
So
करो
it's
भाई.
been a good long while, but
Increase
team
game no.
putting their faith in him to be able to deliver a win, to put up some solid numbers, and also in texture
अभी ठीक है.
to show this.
Thank you प्रकोल.
Yeah, I mean very curious
चलो
about
पूरा
both of them,
super
right?
chat का
I mean,
train
Rossi
आना चाहिए guys.
obviously played
दिल
Jet
से करो
through,
support
but
अपने
how
भाई
is it
को.
coming back, and now in this roster setup.
29
Also
रुपया.
curious to find out Global Esports.
पानी
they're
है,
playing a
पानी.
composition that Loud showed off when they started to integrate Harbor back at Lock-in. Meanwhile, Talon, they're showing the comp that DRX started to show off with the Harbor back at Lock-in. The big difference being the Skye and the Sova. The Skye allows you to really kind of double team with the Jet and play a bit more aggressively. You can flash through your own walls of smoke as well, while the Sova, of course, is going to secure a little bit more info and has a little bit more post-plant utility.
Well, it's another first here for texture.
भाई 10 रुपए आ गया भाई.
Hadn't seen before.
किसी ने
Quite
तो.
good. Now he comes out with the K.
Thank you for the
kill
30.
first
So हम
Sentinel
चलो guys
appearance
game
for
देखेंगे.
him here today in his career. For now, heavy presence from Talon, who are first on the attack, drifting over towards B. You can see there's a couple other people who are nearby. His kitchen being held at the moment by texture. 𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒 now looking to
Thank
join.
you Hitman for the
but look at setup
31.
once again, right? This is what I was talking about. A side
Guys,
was purely
thank you for
taken
the
by the double
44.
team of guiding
चार
right,
लोग
and
के
then the
10
Jet to peek out. Now 𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒 just
Guys,
has to stay
बड़े
alive.
super
I mean,
chat
they
करो
purposely left the site entirely
Nice!
open.
And right before that wall goes up, 𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒 getting line of sight, manages to go in. Takes down Garnets. That's a lot of firepower left on the ground now here for the side of Talon.
Surely
Oh,
you
भाई
suspect,
sneak कर
yeah,
लिए.
that someone has come to the flank, but can they be ready for it? I mean, if the timing's right, Global Esports, they should strike from both sides at the same time.
Rossi backing away. They look like they wanted to
Nice
use
Baji.
this dog, but
Nice
instead it's gonna be
Baji.
Bazi picking up 2 kills.
I think it's a good call, right? You don't want to get caught with your hands out just trying to control the utility. Meanwhile,
Nice.
trying to hide, but
Nice.
gets caught.
They're just flooding them. And it's going to be a flawless pistol round. Might not be an ace from one yet, but pretty much everybody getting involved in this one.
चलो
As the
सब
defuse
same
will come
time
through.
पे
Looks like
sync
they
है.
want to try to fast track
Thank
those
you
secrets.
for
Bazi
the
finding
$1,
kills. This will give him
$1.10
third
Canadian
charge.
dollars. Thank you for the
It's flawless to go
2030.
ahead
Thank
and
you,
lock in the
Meme
pistol.
Minister, for
I
the
mean, again,
$2.
Global Esports and pistol rounds just seem to go hand in hand.
Thank you for the
I mean, they're
44
staying consistent.
Psycho.
They're always good for at
Thank
least
you,
one on
Manan.
the map, if not both. And obviously, that's how they're staying with such a huge positive record. Now, I like that the fact that they're
Guys,
prioritizing
ये गेम
secrets
के
as
बाद भी
well,
मैं
but we're starting
2050
to see
VP गिव
Skye
करूंगा.
really
रॉसी
show
जेट
back
खेल
up.
रहा है
The fact that
guys.
sometimes she's the main initiator or the only initiator. That means the Seekers allow you to have one extra round of really confirmed information.
Yeah, not having that Sova does give you that nice little advantage here. At least try to shift the balance back into your favor.
Well, 4 spy here with the Stingers from Talon. Not everyone, but everyone does buy down with the Sheriffs as well.
Pretty shallow wall here from 𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒. Not blocking off too much of anything, but I mean the jump peaks confirming presence at the very least. Start quickly dealt with. Not going to find much there. As Rossi going to be the one situated a little bit further forward. Looks like he wants to swing out and thinks better of it. 𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒 will just send the wall towards them. Rossi goes for the push. Oh no! And I think that might just be a little bit of over-eagerness here in his debut.
गलती से
Instead
हो
of
गया.
going down, the rest of the team now looking to hold the line.
𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐒 stuck. He does need support, but 𝐼𝐿𝐒 not going to stay alive for too long.
And suddenly, we're in a 2v2. Weapons recovered. Sushi Boy's picking up that Spectre. See, Pat wants to do the same. Otherwise, still does have the Stinger. Swing out now into a 1v1. As it's Monyet versus Sushi.
But Sushi did pick up the Spectre.
Monet निकाल Monet.
Just a matter of mind
No!
games.
He's just not ready for Monyet to be in that position. Was expecting him further back, deeper into the site. So Global will be able to win this round, but at a fairly heavy cost.
Yeah, I mean, they take a big hit, but of course on the other side as well, right? Talon bought down with the Sheriff's and Stinger. So at the end of the day, I mean, normally we would say, okay, I mean, this almost is a win for Talon, but Talon's going to have to rest one extra round. Now the big question becomes, do they buy Stingers again just to try to catch back up while they, set up for half armors in the coming round?
Yeah. Well, we'll we'll ignore the tailwind.
Yeah, we'll skip that part. All right, everyone gets one. Everyone gets one.
Still,
Thank you for
quite
the
a bit of
22
spending
Yash.
on both sides. I mean, you can see Pat down to 1,000, 1,200 for Sushi. Everybody else on the side of Global as well, putting in quite a bit of money.
Celebrate
Only
the first
Texture
super chat from here.
with that Spectre
Let's
in
go,
hand,
guys.
2,000.
Yeah, so Talon just poised to make sure they can either buy full armor and weapons or half armor with full utility in the next round.
Oh,
God, bhai.
it's a quick and easy swing out. 16 HP though.
Bhag.
Join up with Bazzi in a little
Daddy
bit. Go ahead
mujhse
and heal right
bola.
away.
Yeah, they're gonna have to buy time for that, and that's exactly what they do. Backs off. Texture just trying to keep screens, right? As long as you have screens and you Foxy.
For Cruz, coming up on this flank angle, finds Aaron as well to boot. Fantastic timing from him. Drop down, however, out of heaven.
Nice!
Oh. I mean, Bazzi.
Man's on one today.
Definitely.
भाई
is.
बाजी
And,
भाई
you know,
तू
maybe
क्या
you're
खा के
gonna
आया
talk
आज
about,
भाई
you know,
डेली
your
खाइए
utility, your fragging may not have been great, but your utility has been top tier. Well, no longer. It's the fragging that's really putting him at the top of the scoreboard now.
It's, well, I believe, a 6-1 now start for Bazzi.
Baazigaro.
Nice casual little swing out here from Monyet to find that first kill of the round. Gets healed up and then goes right back into the front lines. So though, some good sheriffing overall from the side of Talon. Themselves a couple of kills, a good flank from Cruz as well. We saw him early up on that belt area. He drops the spike down and says, I want to go on this flank, and it ends up paying off decently well.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was the round where they're okay with just taking whatever they can. Now they're set up for their buys. They do complete the lockdown as well for Sushi Boy. So this is a chance to finally turn the momentum around on the side of Talon. They've even already taken early control of mid and a kill for Garnets.
Very nice. Garnet's not setting off that turret. Goes for Aaron first, finds it, then deals with the KJ util. And that clearly did not see Rossi there, and he's able to just ADS in, get the headshot.
Yeah, but this is what you can start to do when you have this double team of the Sky and the Jet, right? You can send in that deep flash with the guiding light, set up your Jet, and be prepared to provide some backup from any position because of the way that her utility works. I mean, you can get quite a bit of distance on all of these.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing it a bit in our most recent Icebox game. EJ being able to rush forward, get these early picks outside of A. Seeker's going to be used here as we've got 50 seconds remaining. Confirm that there is enough presence
Early use
over
kar
here
lega
towards
is
the A
Seeker.
side. Still, though, not enough for Texture
You should run.
and Monyet to rotate across.
Now Rossi, he doesn't have the best of weapons. Oh, I was going to say not the best of weapons to take away the lockdown, but he is going to wait patiently for a kill.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
I mean,
nice.
kind of needed that. The longer that he stayed, the more reliant he was going to be on needing that dash to be able to get out and avoid getting detained. So just pop that. No spray through the wall to try to interrupt. Disrupt this. Rossi now on for an ace.
Oh, he wants it so bad.
In his debut map, what a way to jazz somebody up. This would certainly be it. The push out and Bazzi
Bazzi!
steals it away.
Come on, you knew he was full flashed, my guy.
He said, oh, I'll flash for you. Just kidding.
Porque no
Not flashing
cinco.
for me. Either way, a solid round with the Guardian. Weapon now can be upgraded. Just with the one casualty as Bazzi and Rossi leading the charge on the board. Oh, it wasn't even ADS, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just primed and positioned, and I mean, this is one of the advantages for the Guardian. I like that you questioned why do you're not going to spam through the wall. You have a Guardian, but he gets the guaranteed kill over, and then he's still able to clean house. I look down afterwards, and Mozzie's still just having that nervous smile of like, uh-oh.
I'm going to draw the ire of all of India now.
Let's
Everybody
go.
in that watch party
Yeah, the
booing,
watch party.
just booing Bazzi, but widely cheering on Global.
Well, I mean, Bazzi's surely one of the spearheads today for Global as they continue to look like it might be a swift victory finally as they try to go for their first win here in Pacific.
Roping across. This will have been heard and now spotted. Garnet's dropping down just in time to avoid getting
the bite.
eating any damage. The bite now zoning them back, and Pat vulnerable, gets headshot, gets killed. Well, yeah, can't quite adjust the
मार मार
but then the dog comes in, finds one.
अरे खोपड़ी फोड़ रे फोड़ाओ मत
Fox takes down Garnets with his own Hunter's Fury, but at the end of the day, it's Rossi, the last man standing. The pride and hope of India now looking to bring them across the line. There's one gone.
Yeah, he has no information on the others yet, though.
Oh,
spots Cruz. They heard the drop.
Cruz is walking in, but it's a faster.
NT Ganesh NT
is able to go ahead and get Talon that first round win, but again, at great cost. Cash from the side of Global, very much banked up. Talon, ooh, it's rough.
Guys, Rossi के लिए हाथ spam कर दो, guys.
You know, rifles coming through.
Yeah, the half armors. We'll see if that comes back to fight him, or if it's going to be just enough to kind of keep them on life support as they try to claw back in. You're a map 2, because here's the thing. They not only have to win Icebox, but they have to kind of get to map 3 to even have a chance to get their own first win.
Take a look at it now. It looks like Garnet's just going to be going for the Blade Storm.
The operator is going to hold mid. The guiding light. Whoa!
I was going to say, he should have been able to spot Munya initially. In the end, manages to find him, get that headshot across. See how he continues to play on the entry here for his team. His walls are up, just trying to stop the push from coming through, and that's going to be the reckoning now invested from Pat.
Now, this does force them to empty the site, but they're going to hear a lot of the footsteps. GES, though, they have no reason to really flank around on their own. Now, Cruz, of course, the reason they're rotating is because of that deep flank, and we saw that in the picture-in-picture as well. I mean, he faced no opposition. Do they recognize that he could be this deep already?
It looks like Aaron does as he's inching forward. Rossi now scoped in. Oh, the timing! He's going to turn away, and this could be a 2-for-1 if he decided to swing it, but he does not.
He's just waiting for the rotates. He just wants to fight them right in the last second. He's going to hear this. Here's the drop.
Bassie's coming around on the opposite side. And that will at least confirm that position. And that last knife would have been enough to do it, but just can't quite find it. Cruz with a fantastic just drift through the B site into that lurk. He'll finally fall. Aaron looking like, grab up the operator, go for the save.
Yeah, that's the best play you could do, right? I mean, with the operator dropped, that's what could start to hurt your economy. You say, okay, we're already down in the numbers as well. Let's just save the operator texture. He's just in a position where
could hit a timing here.
Yeah, just try to get one extra kill, try to get towards that lockdown. No, he's just going to play it safe.
Okay. Drifts back across the opposite way. We'll be all right, tucked away in kitchen. So operator held on to. Talon do find their second. This is good for them to be able to find their footing because, you know, we're talking about how bad the economy was looking. And Aaron, oh boy. Not what you want to see there.
Yeah,
complete and utter whiff.
Yeah, he was holding the angle as well, but I mean, sure, the timer was just about to run out. Maybe you were going through your comms. It looked a little shaky.
Garnets
was just sighted in for the kill on the hunt here. Oh, man. I mean, just a nice movement from Garnets as well. Of course, with that Blade Storm, that's the advantage he has in that duel.
Well, timeout now going to be used by Global. Even though they have the lead, they don't want Talon to find a way back into this. Take a look at, you know, Icebox, this is, what, the third time that we've had it so far in Pacific. It has been one of the least played, if not the least played map now.
Yes, I believe so. Now that Split's been picked a couple extra times. Yeah. Icebox being widely avoided, not even picked at
first
all.
Map कौन जीता? First map GE जीता, bro.
Global Esports. And now I wonder if they're also discussing, obviously not in this next round because they don't have the economy for it, but eventually do you try to go for the
sound low? अरे भाई सबको सही लग रहा है, तुम्हें low लग रहा है.
If you have the Sky and the Jet, you can actually just push out together with the rifles. But if you only have the operator, you know what? I give credit, right, to that. That takes courage to hold that right here, and then also with the dab, which I did my first dab because of depth the other day on broadcast.
Let's go, G.
I'm just, did Tyler want to get banned? What are we freeing him from?
No, Tyler 1 always wants more freedom.
I see.
That's what it is.
I see. He's so thoroughly American.
Well, obviously.
There's never enough freedom, brother.
No, not enough for
okay, covering fire is not as good as it needed to be.
All right, go next.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. They've been slow creeping around Garage. You don't expect them to hit this a little bit faster, but I think Global, they say, okay, yeah, well, we know that you guys are on an eco. We're going to push the envelope here a little bit harder than we normally do. And, yeah, Rossi ends up getting caught with the Bucky in hand.
Yeah, now.
Oh,
NT.
I mean, I like the idea from
Chalega,
Texture.
chalega, NT
You're
guys,
droning,
NT.
I'm gonna molly you, maybe I'll get a kill, I know you're low HP, but Pad just shuts that down.
Yeah, I'd say best attempt he could have had, and looks like, okay, they do want to stick with the op, so most likely what that means is they want to position Rossi to just hold. Wow, what a just mess of a firefight there, but they're going to position him to hold through a guiding light and then rotate Batsy over quickly so he can gain information either mid or on the other site. But this all relies on the fact that Rossi can get a bit of a forward position and has to be good for his first shot should Talon ever rotate back to him.
Heavy mid presence now. 3 people ready to creep across you towards Tube, where Texture's the lone member waiting.
Oh, and Foxy
Rossi?
wasn't spotted here through the.
Oh,
He's actually going to enter
He's kinda missed
garage.
it. Yeah, he misses this timing.
But
Which
in
is
some
way forward.
ways,
There's no one to cover for him.
yeah, I mean, neither of them know surely of the other presence. Meanwhile, the site is being taken through kitchen. A great guiding light.
Oh, Bazzi!
Nice,
well, he
nice
crucially
रे
shut down the
उसको
pit.
main player मार दिया.
Denies that from being an entry, some entry util onto the site. Texture now spotting, but can't swing wide enough to take down Garnets. We'll find one. Garnets now pulls off of that plant. Shuts Texture down. Sushi Boys in the meantime catching Moniette on the rotate. The op in mid needs the
Nice,
shot.
Rossi.
He nails it. Dash forward.
Does he know about kitchen?
No, he does not. Still that lurk there. Pat
Rossi
will
around
find
the
that
world घूम
punish.
गया भाई.
And now it's all on Air in the IGL to try to make this happen. Knows where one's at, but at this point, Garnets could be anywhere. He's right out in front waiting. And that brings us 4-4, tied up for the first time in the series.
Yeah, and an early timeout used as well. Let's remember that on the side of Global Esports, but they're actually not able to regain the momentum. Again, their pistols are always good. Their early rounds look
Second
good.
लग रहा है Rossi
Let's,
bundle लेगा.
let's say it like it is. I
Nice
mean,
decision.
the overall big picture idea with the operator was fine. You want to get an aggressive position, but the way you executed it, you left, you know, kind of an opening there. And obviously it was a very sliver of a timing where Foxy is able to get through. But that alone already buys enough time for the site to be overtaken, despite Batsy's heroics to try to shut down the Viper's pit.
This is a little bit concerning. I mean, granted, it's the first time that we're seeing Icebox from Global. This is, you know, that kind of debut of the map, but we've seen it from Talon before. They were able to beat Team Secret on this map when Secret had selected it. Secret, of course, you know, as we've noted many times, not having been able to win on any of their map picks yet.
Yes.
But widely, the biggest thing that concerned me is that Talon were able to get 9 rounds on the defending side. It was on the attack where they struggled.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, surely even their utility usage with their harbor has been improving since then as well. That time it was a lot off the back of the firepower of all 5 players. Today, things seem to be a little bit more in sync. So, Global, you got to start to get a bit more concerned. Now, obviously, this round, they're taking it just a bit slower on the eco. Now, this is all really to set up for Moniette, and he's already good for 1.
He's got 1.
Nice,
the other. Oh,
Moniette.
the man playing the tightrope.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Monia भाई.
Esports doesn't work out. Clearly, he'd be good in a circus.
Yeah, I mean, the acrobatics are there. Texture just trying to buy time. Oh, he does make sure that the vulnerable lands on him. But not going to be able to fight back.
Cirque de Monnier.
Cirque de Monnier. He changed the name a little bit.
Yeah. It's a minor change up. Cruz, though, pushing forward. We'll find Aaron Rossi going to fall. Leaves Texture on his lonesome with the Sheriff in hand, and he's making noise. And that'll be the finisher. So, I mean, again,
चलेगा, nice eco,
coming
nice
up
eco.
with some good kills.
Nice eco बोलते
Limiting
guys.
the number of weapons that are carried over, but Talon now have a very solid bank built up for themselves here.
Yeah, they can buy whatever they want.
Guys, वैसे सस्ता तारीख वाला फील आ रहा है कि नहीं तुम लोगों को? ऐसा पीछे व्यू दिख रहा है कि नहीं मस्त? Short भाई Monia.
Esports, right? They've been falling behind ever since split. Wow. That was great to watch in slow-mo. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I know a lot of fans who have been following Moniette's career are so happy to see him perform on the global level. So credit to him. But right now, all focus on
Timeout
Talon.
लेना
They're starting
चाहिए.
to correctly read how
एक
Global
timeout I
Esports
think
wants to
already
use
used
this
किया है.
especially again the way they've been trying to
Second
position
लोग save कर रहे
SK
हैं.
Rossi's jet off the back of that sky.
Early clear on the drone.
रॉसी के पास
So
लोग
what
आ
we
ही
just
नहीं
saw on the
रहे हैं.
mini-map was the fact that Cruz, I believe, gets tagged by the guiding light, but that means that Global Esports also can't push out too confidently. Cruz is just there because he knows eventually at some point the Jet and Sky have to be together. They're going to push out. You can see it in the small screen. He's just waiting for them to come fight him.
Fish not coming in. Some blind shots sent across.
Nice, Ganesh.
Rossi. Now able to find Cruz. The Nanoswarm gets set and cleared. Lockdown will flush them back off the site. Maybe 𝘋𝐿 would go for the answering defending lockdown, just to try to draw the stalemate. Not to beat. Aaron, so close to getting punished there through the pipes.
All right, using the reckoning just to push back
Nice,
onto
Monet.
Snowman.
Nice,
Monet gets
Monet.
boxed through.
Nice.
Finds Pat. Now Garnet's dead. Seems like Global. They do not want them to get ahead, but man, what a quick 2-pop there from Sushi Boys.
So much that Sushi Boys has to do. He's just being kept, you know, his attention tied behind him because of Batsi's Sky.
Yeah, he's got to swing out wide. The initial shot on the up. It does not connect. 𝘋𝐿's got to back off. Suddenly, this is winnable. It would have to be an ace. He's looking for it. 𝘋𝐿 will say no.
भाई
Shuts it down,
1v5
grabs the up,
भाई
hands the defuse over to Bazzi.
भाई ऐसा मत
Go
करो
ahead
दिल
and
धक
make
धक
that
हो रहा था
push.
guys
5-5, but man, what a close round. Sushi Boys nearly bringing that one back from the dead.
Yeah, I mean, such good finesse there, both in terms of his aim and positioning to try to bring that back to a 1v5 clutch, and he almost did it. I mean, very, very close.
if you can get me a fresh lime soda nothing like it no actual fresh lime soda only baba
Here, right, just trying to make sure he can position behind yellow, so even if he, you know, doesn't win the duel immediately, he can try to buy time. Unfortunately, he gets picked off right
देखो guys
before
हम
he can
lime
be
juice
behind
पी
the
रहे पर
container.
only lime juice no mixing
All right, and another timeout. Just 4 rounds later. This time Talon looking to figure out how they can go ahead and get themselves back into this leading position. But again,
रॉसी
I
का
mean,
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
I
अभी
don't
जाता आ रहा है
feel
ऐसा नहीं होता है guys short
that
miss
concerned right now if I'm the coach. Obviously, some things to trim up, make sure that they're, you know, not making some of the little micro mistakes that we've been seeing. But
I think
given what
Monet
we've seen
is the
from
greatest
on the
pick of
defending side
G.
this map, I would still be sitting.
I think
Yeah,
so
I mean, again, you also have to think about that
One of
initiator
the best
difference,
picks,
right?
yeah.
When you're over on that defensive side, not only can you try to get more secure
let's go
info,
this is my first time
but-
ever
we
watching
got some
Go
fans
Talon
watching their first ever Valorant.
Love from America.
thank you
Love to see it. Welcome, welcome. Not sure first time watching at all or first time watching in person, but either way, greetings to you.
Velkommen.
Oh, yeah.
नहीं अरे क्या
Well,
Bienvenue.
it's just all languages. Throw it all out there. But I mean, this is a great match to watch. Now, the big question is you got to imagine that SK Rossi and Batsi, they're always going to try to look for these timings where they can continue to push out. What's the answer?
Come on,
Last time
Rossi,
it was
come on.
Bruce just hanging on the lurk, trying to catch him off guard, and SK Rossi wins that
Garnet.
duel. Oh, and he gets spotted.
And now he's going to go for the updraft. They know exactly where he's at. Is the covering fire going to be good? The answer is yes. Crew's able to find one, and 𝘋𝐿 apprehensive about swinging out again.
Nice
Finds
Ray,
himself to do so.
𝘋𝐿.
He'll take the singular kill and back away. Seemingly satisfied, at least with that trade.
Yeah,
Both Vipers down nice and early.
Wise choice from 𝘋𝐿. Just even the numbers, that's all you had to do, because that means it bought time for Rossi to push out again. But this time they have so many members over on build.
They're in so deep, and Rossi so far forward, finds one. He's able to break that line of sight, now draws out the knives.
Just to scout, make sure that they haven't gotten into the site yet. That buys enough time for Aaron.
Holding the corner, looking for a little bit more.
Nice,
Aaron will
Ray.
go ahead, drop the spike.
What?
Pat dead, Hunter's Fury, getting that singular connection. Suddenly just
Nice,
Ray.
Ray.
Will fall.
let's go
Global, go ahead and pick up a back-to-back round now.
Last round in the half.
Right ahead of the last round of the half. And that lockdown still in 𝘋𝐿's pocket.
Yeah, just sitting there. I mean, yeah, there were a couple of rounds earlier where it might have been crucial, but now that they've drawn out the Hunter's Fury as well, this should mean that they are set up for an easy retake or just to buy time. Now, in that previous round, Rossi, sure, he had a great shot, but what really impressed me was the way he was drawing aggro, right? And just checking for intel with that updraft off of the Blade Storm. That draws out the Hunter's Fury towards him and really keeps Aaron hidden. Just great comms coming out.
Jeff Garnets. How quickly do they want to push this pace? So far, really just an alarm bot in their way. That's easily cleared. 𝘋𝐿 waiting to see if this is going to end up being the site before he plants any of these nano swarms. And even then, expect that the lockdown is going to be the first thing used.
All right, Talon's idea is, okay, just let them push out of A if they need to. As long as we confirm the op's not here, let's just go for a 5-man stack. They most likely want to try to push in further as well, but here's a lockdown.
This is going to draw them forward. They're going to want to clear this.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're going to push the corner,
Off
try to
the
get the
high
destroy on it, and they do. The smoke goes down. 𝘋𝐿 falls.
बहुत ही
Fight
गंदा
now, getting ready
lockdown
to come
था
in.
guys.
Aaron's going to be noted. Garnet's up top, decides not to take the fight, ends up backing away, and as Aaron drops to the low ground, he will also get picked apart.
It's a great setup, and during that chaos, that actually allows Pat to hide up there in the nest, but he is going to have to leave. No, he's going to win.
Doesn't win that fight somehow. Pat able to stabilize the aim, goes down to 30 HP, sure, but wins it out. Now Rossi with an operator. What can you do? A flawless round to end the half and tie it up at 6-6.
चलेगा guys. 6 all निकालते अपने लॉन्डे.
Wow, tied at the half, but you mentioned it, 𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐿. Talon, they looked great on the other side of the map the last time they played, especially against Team Secret. I think if you're Talon, I mean, especially with how things started off on Split, you're feeling pretty comfortable here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the ever-important pistol round coming through. It's going to allow you to string together a nice start on the second
Wrong
half.
place to hold. That is defending. This is नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. जो comms खेल रहे हैं ना दोनों बैले मतलब attacking मेरे हिसाब से attacking favor ज़्यादा है ये comp. क्योंकि जब last DRX में Talon भी खेले थे, Cloud9 versus DRX, सब लोग teams attacking पे बहुत rounds निकाल रहे थे ये comp से, and defensively it's a decent enough comp.
What do you mean?
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Forgot.
Let's see how
we
it
had that
goes.
collective fever dream.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, they do look a lot better. And the other thing is, what we're seeing as a big difference here is that they're making these organized calls, which is what seemed to be missing in some of these earlier weeks in Pacific, which was a little disappointing.
Guys, निकालते हैं अपने लौंडे निकालते हैं.
Talon off of their performance at lock-in. Their calls were good. They were even taking very, very strong calculated risks. And then they came to Pacific. Things seemed to be in a bit of confusion. I think even Cruz said that in an interview recently as well, where they're still just trying to figure out what roles each person's going to play. Today, they're making the reads a bit crisper round to round. They're adjusting to try to keep up, if not overtake, Global Esports.
Right, well, pressure's certainly mounting here. Let's see if they can get that breakaway pistol round win, though. Talon are going to be able to answer this one back. I mean, a third map, Haven on the horizon. Who knows how that one goes down? We'll see if we can get there.
I mean, who knows who's playing if we get to Haven?
I mean, that's, yeah, another very good point. Bronski obviously waiting in the wings. Lightning Fast could come back in, play Raze on Haven for all we know.
Absolutely, that's
plenty of things that could happen. And I mean, Talon are very much in a similar situation, what with 𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐿 as well. Currently sat backstage. So if we can get to that third and final map, who knows what it all looks like. We can see Rossi, Garnets right now, fairly neck and neck between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, obviously the team score is tied, but the kill board looks a bit similar as well. Actually, just down to the wire, right, with the Jets up top, and then the 𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐿, then the Initiator. So clearly both teams just trying to answer back and forth round to round, and that's going to make this pistol round even more important.
Let's go, guys! Ganesh!
Recon and a fairly forward position here from Garnets. Puts a very small amount of damage in on a texture, but he himself gets knocked down to 41. Good return fire. No kill found quite just yet. Rossi now at 33, and Cruz spotting. Let's go ahead and get the double team money. Going to be taken down now. Texture fallen as well.
Nice, Ganesh. Nice, Aiden.
Able to reply.
What?
One more bullet on that frenzy. Steady. Would have been able to find it. Said it's going to be Bazzi now in a 1v2.
Now Garnett somehow still surviving with 15 HP, but he's correctly waiting to make this a 2v1. He's just going to play kind of shield or bait here for Pat. I mean, or Pat with the better health, he could try to
that's right.
Get the aim.
Come on,
with
buddy.
the ghost.
Expects that wraparound's going to come through from the back rafter. It does not, and that's going to be Talon. Second half pistol rounds going their way.
Yeah, they're splitting each half across both teams, winning one on either side. So Talon off to a good start, the start that they want here in the second half. Now, the way they set up for Cruz, and these were the kind of things that we wanted to see from Talon, right? Is if someone gets kind of spotted early, then you back out, you draw aggro, you kind of set up and bait for your teammate. Yeah, lots of excitement, but we're seeing it come alive.
Finally, something to get
Rossi का HP रहता थोड़ा तो वो मार देता दूसरे को भी.
Back in with a lead. But the force buys coming up from Global.
I think Shockdart से damage खाया वो.
Yeah, they're going to have to, I mean, this is one where they have to get the win, otherwise they may as well actually kiss the half goodbye. It's going to have a huge impact. Now, Talon doesn't go yet.
No, they do not. They still eat a good amount. Healing is going to be there. Fortunately, they do have that Sky. Shock Dart, second one now used. Drone going to be thrown in as well. Fox just dumping any and all util that he can. They use the pistols to clear the drone, so they still might not have a sense that this is going to end up being a buy. Now they do.
No.
Push up over the top again. Cruz making this play, finds one yet. So 1-for-1 for now.
Yeah, and the fact that he stays alive, this has bought so much time for Pat to just make sure that there hasn't been a rotation yet.
Nice, Baji!
To find two. Garnett's putting that Vandal to work. Does punish. Man advantage barely there, though. Global, a 3v2. Start rotating around. It's like Rossi going to cheat forward. No, decides to go with the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't run into Pat just yet, worst case, he's on site on B, but the correct assumption would be that they would eventually group up, right? And that's exactly what Talon's going to do, so the plant will go down. The force buy looking promising so far.
Texture's going to stay on this lurk, see if anybody wants to come under tube, cut across that way, and instead can now start to inch forward and have his own flank through that position.
Yeah, Talon, the idea here is going to be use your utility, make sure you're setting up for kills for Garnett with that Vandal, and then maybe even Pat just drawing aggro with the Cove and trying to push the E's here.
I just feel like having Texture here a little bit sooner might have been good for him. Rossi turns the corner, puts a little bit of damage in.
One enemy
Up
remaining.
on the spike, they spray through, they find one. Garnett's
Nice!
ball, and there you have it. The
Let's
first
go!
buy paying off dividends as the Vandal going to be recovered as well. Global will keep it tied at 7-7.
A huge win. The Vandal being free upgrades
Guys,
here for Global
Bajigar,
Esports. Meanwhile, that Vandal
Bajigar.
commitment from Talon, and they lose it to the force buy. That's going to have a lasting impact here in the second half.
One enemy remaining.
I was worried. Texture not being there, not having those nanoswarms thrown down. I mean, we saw them kind of spraying around the spike, expecting they were going to be there. And I was like, oh boy, if they lose because they don't have post-plant util, this is definitely going to hurt. But they do get it done. It's like Vandal's still going to be held by 𝐼𝐼𝐼. Give him that added little bit of firepower as Rossi looks to push the tempo.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to make the same call that Talon did against them as well.
I think Pat may have been seen. He's going to have to use the Cove just to get himself out of there.
Well, any form of retake is going to be an absolute impossible mission here with the eco buy from Talon. Now with the Cove gone as well.
A couple darts from
Nice
Fox
call,
nearby. If he can read the plant position, might be able to put some extra damage in. Flash goes in, won't find much of anything. They do spot one, and I mean, Monye dropping off the rope, lands on the ground, sticks his feet, finds the kill. Finds
Nice!
There you go, a flawless round for Global to
Let's go
reestablish
flawless, guys.
a lead, albeit likely briefly. As we go into the next buy round for Talon.
Oh yeah, Talon's ready for it. They say, all right, it's do or die time, right? And I like this call, because if you start to let things run away or you take a little bit more damage in the coming rounds, it's gonna be you're always gonna be a round behind. So just over best, say this is act like it's match point. By the operator, make sure you can continue to snowball it forward.
Fans come by, certainly riled up now. Talon, see if they can give their fans something more to cheer for, as it's a glass cannon investment from Garnett's. Wrapping on the rope, drops down, plays nice and close, scoped in. Just praying that Texture will swing into him.
What do you think
Foxy
Roche has more impact
making
on
sure
Jet?
that he's up on the nest as well on
Yeah, bro.
site to just scout the belt, which is going to be ever so important. That does mean Foxy also can't leave the site unless they reposition Garnett. So this is a two-person commitment to make sure that A site is practically shut down on the attack. Meanwhile, Nanoswarm placed on B default to buy time should the attack come through here.
Oh, and they get the
Wow!
Garnett's, they both just swing together. That's Texture and Monye knocked out. And that's how you even things up again. The push coming in, nearly finding Sushi. Just spot him. Rossi not able to find the kill. Pat, what a turn is that?
Oh.
He gets the third to boot.
Wow.
And suddenly, from a flawless into a flawless of their own, Talon, they continue to answer back.
चलेगा guys, चलेगा.
That operator coming in and paying dividends. I mean, you placed this so early, such a good position in Garnett, getting that slight flick. Ooh, Pat, the reaction times as well.
Just nasty stuff. And this is one of the things that, while I think Pat Riley today looking a lot better when it comes down to the Harbor util, he looked a little bit weak in that regard versus Secret, but the fragging was still there.
Yes.
And now he's delivering on
nice.
both fronts.
अरे वो plan कर रहा था guys.
Now, Global Esports, an important round to see if they can solve, the riddle for this operator, or against this operator rather. Now they do have the Reckoning and the Seeker, so good ultimates to try to flush out that weapon.
Hello. That's the thing, I don't care about
भाई
this.
इतना आगे आके drone कर रहा है भाई वो.
Oh, Pat, I mean, aggressive push out. He has been going on these garage alerts. This one a little bit faster than the others. And he comes comes up with the kill. 𝘼𝐼𝐼 taken down.
And now you know that they're in mid. They have presence in mid and A. There was no one on B, so you're just hanging back on site with the operator. 𝘼𝐼𝐼, he still has his tailwind as well. If he's good for one more kill and just gets out free this round, you can kiss it goodbye on the side of Global Esports.
चल गणेश here on.
Heard the noise.
अरे गणेश को ही मार्क करना
है. Seeker's now going to be let loose.
He's going to wait until the last
Monyet
second.
pushes up into the nest. Rossi will be the first to fall. Monyet trying to spam out of position. 𝘼𝐼𝐼 does go ahead and exit towards backside.
Yeah, but
how do you get in here? I mean, Pat is still swinging around the backside, and they will just get cleaned up. Only Fox getting taken out there. TALON once again will establish a lead for themselves.
Yeah, and again, the backup, right? As soon as you hear the Seekers come through and the awareness to be prepared for that potential guiding light, he hears it start to fly in. He dodges it, 𝘼𝐼𝐼. He is set up to make sure that they have to focus on flushing him out. That allows Fox to get this position. I mean, a great recon as well.
Well, getting closer and closer now to that map 3. TALON fighting back fantastically. Can't help but wonder, where was this team in your last matchup? There's the forward rush. 𝘼𝐼𝐼's nearly able to find that shot, but they don't read that Sushi Boys is also going to be in this position.
Yeah,
trying to swing out, but the covering fire from TALON is just multi-layered and precise.
Oh,
Bhazi with a nice shot will find one, will find two. Will find three. You gotta stop pushing into this.
Why?
Okay.
Wow. Okay. That
भाई
was
बाजी पागल हो गया है guys.
The operator not being found yet either, but okay, Bhazi doing whatever damage he can, because I was about to say, I mean, this is kind of a crazy commitment to push forward with an operator and 3 people against an eco round. I guess you just wanted to shut it down. But this is also, if you're a TALON fan, this is the type of risk, the unexpected risk that TALON took at lock-in that really threw off their opponents. So it is good to see that they have this confidence, and it was set up properly, right? You have the over-under and then the third person peeking out. So the round was most likely always going to be a win. It was just a matter of how many weapons you drop.
And they got plenty of money.
Yes.
So still going to be feeling quite decent there. Bhazi now just a couple of charges away from having that next Seekers. But timeout, second one going to be used here by Global to try to right the ship. And we'll see if it gets the job done. The first one that they called, not enough to get them the round win.
Yeah, and the other thing to consider about playing rounds like that, right, where you're just pushing aggressively, if you know you have the extra weapons and you have your trades set up, your crossfire set up where you're absolutely going to guarantee the win, it also denies any extra rounds from your opponents like Global Esports to read your defaults, your setups, right? It means that they just have to kind of get shut down fast and early and say, okay, that was a round wasted. We didn't do anything. We gained nothing from it. No extra ult charges, ult dwarves. Obviously, this time Bhazi getting a couple kills. But that's about it. You'd gain no more information. Now you force a second timeout, and that's denying a little bit of extra information that Global Esports can work with. 𝘼𝐼𝐼's taking another new position here with the operator.
Look at the ults across the board. I mean, you want to say, okay, Global has got something to work with, but then you compare, and TALON's got 4, and they're not far off from the 5th. It's going to be that pit from Cruz.
And so they now know the operator is here, and considering it's got the turret, surely you suspect that it was up on that box. Pat's coming out again, but this time you already have Monyet planted in the garage.
Yeah, he's behind him. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie at the moment. They just don't know it. Wall coming out. I mean, that should be called. They have to know that he's out there. Monyet is not swinging back. Given that wall placement, he has to be in a forward position.
Yeah, no, surely they suspect where this came from.
This tech should just not noticed it. He was in front, but I mean, it makes some noise.
I don't know if they read where the angle was coming from, and then 𝘼𝐼𝐼 perhaps focusing on making the call to enter the site, didn't catch the very end of it, entering the wall. Either way, maybe they're just assuming that we just ignore it. Let's go with the plan that we have.
This could be everything. They're out in the open. That's the spike. He's cutting across. 𝘼𝐼𝐼 just does not know.
Oh, no!
And Pat strikes, and suddenly he's going to say, how the hell did this happen? Monyet around the back should be able to catch him. But no. Second separating them.
Pat, he knows something's off.
He does, but he just can't quite line it up. Monyet will be able to trade that one back. Meanwhile, Sushi Boys, a forward lurk. Much like the Viper and Harbor, both now, these Killjoys, narrowly missing each other in mid.
Now, very important that 𝘼𝐼𝐼, despite all that chaos, was able to get some form of control here in A. That's the only hope they had of taking over a site. Oh, he draws out the operator's shot as well, and that does set up for the Viper's pit.
Okay, Hunter's Fury goes across. They do complete the plan. Texture able to
nice
find
Texture.
Sushi Boys. 𝘼𝐼𝐼's expecting this push coming out of mid. Texture wisely decides to back away. Knives now do come through.
Foxy on a hero mission to hold the site on his own.
Oh, right into the shoulder. That last one. The
Nice,
shorty
Ganesh.
out. Rossi able to win the fight. Garnets will just go for the blind spray.
Chalo, chalo, save karo
The
re.
mantle in hand. Call might just come through from Talon to save it. As I say that, Monyet gonna be taken down the pit now. Absolutely gone.
Nice.
Pushes right in front of Rossi.
Sting re,
Now
Ganesh.
steps behind. A 2v1, a 1v1. Texture the last one.
Yeah, but
the time just not there.
Yeah, you just have to stick it.
Nice, nice.
Okay, a closeout on the round, bringing them one step closer to tying this up yet again. But still, an immense amount of util and weapons lost.
I mean, ring around the rosy all across the map by all different players here in that round. And even the pit setup as well. But at the end of the day, this all comes back to the fact that Rossi gets control, or some form of control, on A site, allows them to get the pit down on top of the plant, and that secures the defense against the retake.
Yeah, Texture making up for his previous sins in the round. Being able to close that out for the team. And, I mean, it's the one ult invested. They get 2 away from the side of Talon, so in the end, definitely a very valuable round here for Global.
I've got your trail.
Hit at the ready, however. Cruz ready to utilize this as the Seekers go chasing. The walls come up from Aaron as well, looking to cut off that screen's access.
Now, Seekers and Trailblazer has cleared out the first floor of the pit, so they know they're not there.
Fox finding one, puts some damage on the Rossi, forces him to exit.
Oh, the snake bite!
Right in onto the cove, and it's going to be the shock dart that finishes the job.
Alt use kar bhai, Texture alt use karna, uske paas nahi hai.
On timing there, what a good setup.
No alt nahi hai.
Fantastically done. Bazzi noting Pat, but
Nice, nice,
Sushi
nice.
Boys out of the back sight does bring this into a 3v3.
Arre, abhi to alt use
Garnet's
kar
still
de.
wary about a flank in mid. We'll now start rotating over to join in with the rest of the
Thank
team.
you.
Lockdown going to be used. Texture invests
Nice,
this.
Bazzi.
Bazzi cuts one down. Identifies where Fox is at.
Too
Fox wins the fight.
Bazzi.
Vandal headshot to go ahead and finish the job. And now they can use this to just go ahead, push up, and finally grab the spike and get this plant down.
Foxy just trying to see if he can get a little bit of spam right at the edge of the lockdown. It does get planted, and no Blade Storm ready for Garnets. They have to work with the operator.
They have one nano to try to bring this across the line, and it's going to be cleared. Texture now, his position noted, but he wins the fight. On to one. Garnet's full HP. He does it again! Back-to-back rounds to keep them in this, to bring it up to parity. 10 and 10 now. As these rounds are so close down to the wire, that's going to force a timeout from Talon.
Oh, they need it because they just committed to the operator once again. That's done enough damage to their economy. And with such heroics from Texture, I mean, sure, spamming through the wall, that seems to be the meta if you're going for these Harbor and Viper comps, but Fox was in line for an ace. Sure, he was damaged up.
Kya ho gaya?
Well, Fox tries to find the angle, and Texture correctly positions himself to make sure it's 1v1s that he can win back-to-back.
Down the wire, Talon now. What can you say to try to get them ready for this next round? You've been going back and forth every time Global's been able to catch up since the second half.
G fighting!
That next follow-up round, you just maintain that lead. Can they do it again?
Let's go guys, जो भी नया आया है, hit that like and subscribe button. ये मैप जीतने के बाद अपन 20,000 BP का giveaway करेंगे.
Kind of trading blows
So
back and
stay
forth.
tuned.
Now, of course, should note that Pat did die with the Reckoning still in hand, so that is available for Talon to try to make the momentum come back in favor for themselves. Curious about their exact economy. I know Garnets had to buy down for that, you know, repeated operator commitment or investment rather.
Lots.
Non yet Indo Pride G fighting.
Understandably.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Very well deserved. And I think more than anything, fans of Monyet and fans from Indonesia they're not just happy that Monyet's playing well, but I'm sure they're happy because now they can also share with the rest of the world what a powerhouse this player has been. And again, he's been one of the most consistent players.
You want
here
4K
Global
Rossi?
Esports and VCT Pacific.
अभी मारेगा देखो guys, ace मारेगा ace.
It's working.
Continues to just work wonders here for them. Worth noting, this is the first time I believe that Pat has played a back-to-back agent.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think this is the first time that he's actually repeating something, what with his Harbor pick, as everything else has been just new stuff from him. In the last 30 days, we've seen him play, what, 7 different agents? And this is like the first time that he's done it. We've done one twice.
Yeah. We've got some extra fans from Germany asking us to speak German. Do you know any German?
9.
9? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got tech pause, yeah?
I did say Willkommen earlier,
you
but...
You did. So you know 2 words.
Obviously, Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, okay, there you go. Pete Gates says, how are you? How's it going?
That's about all I got. You had some time over at ESL.
I did, yeah, and I studied a little bit of German as well. Lost a lot of it now.
If map 3 roster kya hoga? I don't know.
Welcome to Korea as well. I mean, this is the other great thing about these leagues is that you get to visit, especially in EMEA and Pacific, right? You're close enough that you could try to take a weekend visit, visit the country where the tournament's being hosted.
But map 3 जाएगा ही नहीं.
Watch the Valorant as well.
अपने लौंडे खत्म कर देंगे tournament.
Well, looks like we do have a tech pause, so we'll go ahead and get some nice.
Next Watchparty मिलते हैं भाई. Done हमें done.
Going on, taken care of. Seems like it's going to be on the talent side of things. Hopefully we can get this dealt with quickly and get back into the action because obviously we don't want to slow the momentum on either side, given how these teams have been going back and forth.
Yeah, we live. Let's go.
All right, we are ready
to
go.
Let's
So
go.
the economy just kind of in shambles for Talon. So they're just going to buy the single judge for Pat.
Pat getting trapped, much like Rossi did earlier with the Bucky.
अभी तो pause था ना.
Saying I'm gonna get garage. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna kill them all. Just did not work.
And he's down to 900 creds, right? I mean, again, we talk about some of these economic choices. Buying the judge itself is not the problem, but if you're trying to buy a
easy round
judge, as weird as that sounds, and you're not set up for a full buy.
If you buy a judge, let's be clear, you are not a hero.
the villainous judge. There we go. You're buying the villain judge. Well, it's not going to come to anything, and he's down to 900 creds for the next round.
Well, a bit anticlimactic
yes.
of a round after a little additional delay on the backside of the tactical timeout. A dart to clear the way. Fox and Cruz eventually need to make their way over towards B because if nothing else, they need to die to the spike explosion.
Yeah, no, this turret.
But Texture has other things in mind.
Yeah, it's positioned the other way, so. Oh, he now.
Oh, okay. Well,
अच्छा shot मार
we'll get one for their trouble.
But does it do much, Foxy?
Can he get into it?
No, he can't. So now he wants to go and die to them.
Hey, kill me! And they, I mean, they probably should have just not. But
yeah. No, but I mean, it does give an old point to Batsy, and he's very close. So, all in all, I think both sides are okay with that ending.
That's good. I mean, hey, at least he got his death. He also did have a weapon.
Yes.
It was a Spectre, so it's not great, but he had a weapon to carry forward.
The more I think about it, it's just such a funny ending.
Yeah. I mean, I just...
I
keep drawing these Carmine parallels in my head.
Yeah.
The XMS not saving weapon, not dying part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're still buying up to whatever they can. A little bit of half armor on the side of Pat. Operator.
देख लिया क्या? देख लिया क्या?
No, I don't think he saw him.
I don't think he saw.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be going for this. Well, now he's very well aware. Hunter's Fury. Out from Fox, gets the tag, gets the kill. Aaron taken down. Nicely done. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get anything with that one, but
भाई उल्टा रॉसी को भी टैग किया रे
That's a big part of the plant util eliminated.
And I like that commitment, right? You have your own lockdown, if Texture is able to build up to his at some point before we go to a potential overtime. So might as well just use Hunter's Fury to try to get a lead because you are desperate to catch up.
Oh my
God!
Nice! Oh, the combo of
Alte, maar
continuing to go hand in hand. I'll headshot him, you finish him.
Yeah, and you took out the Killjoy, so you know that they have to be focused on Kitchen once again. You just plant Rossi to draw attention on the lurk here.
Cruz trying to buy some space, throws down that bite, sprays in up top. Not yet, don't believe, not getting hit by the dart.
Oh, but Rossi's already all the way through
30
Kitchen.
seconds left.
He's on the flank. Now, time-wise, do they rotate over to B? They're actually going to get around Pat as well.
Nice, Rossi.
That lurk around the back. Rossi with the blades out, finds Cruz. Now, a 3v4. The spike being still brought around the corner. Pat gets the jump, finds Rossi. Time running low. The Reckoning going to be invested. The way
push
out. He goes in, and he's going to be able to take them both down. The spike is planted, but Texture is just not in a position to make anything happen this time around. He finds one, but they can just stay stuck to this. Yeah, even if you get the nano in there, it's just not good enough. Pat will find 4 in the round, and there we have it. We are tied up again at 11-11. Make a wish, William.
We are tied, But, you know, if I'm telling my wish is that this, you know, gets you to match point somehow because it was so costly, right? And your econ, now that you've broken the losing streak, it's still not going to be complete full buys, I don't think. Meanwhile, so many creds backed up on the side of Global Esports, so you're not out of the woods yet.
Certainly not.
Yeah, half armors across the board and a Guardian as well, so Sushi Boys.
Oh, we saw some good gardening. We saw some good gardening.
We did.
We'll go with that. Earlier from both Rossi as well as 𝐼𝐍𝐊𝐒. Let's see what Sushi Boys can get done with it. That lockdown still at the ready. Picture now just one charge away.
Pick करना पार्टी. पार्टी फटी क्या pick कर?
Still have that Sky to support you. Oh. But yeah, it's hard. Like, you're not going to be able to go through tube to kitchen with the operator here. So the hope was that you'd find someone fishing for info in mid. Ideally, the 𝘍𝐽𝐿𝐻, then you know that they'd have to reinvest over to the middle part of the map. It doesn't happen, but, you know, they spent just enough time where they can still reset. You still have a minute on the clock. The problem being that Garnett's once again a poor position.
Yeah. There's the Cloudburst, backs away. Enough to at least check and see if there's going to be somebody pushing pipes. And actually, I mean, Texture taking a little bit of damage. The shots fly through Nest. Garnett's wanting to stay and try to find that pick, but the Reckoning forces him back. Lockdown as well, going to be invested as they try to sell this fake. Rossi, the only one who's going to be left in the site itself, as he's going to back away.
30 seconds left.
Oh, I mean, a great play from Global, though, right? They really just fake out that they're going to run away from the lockdown. Yeah. It's already, the Talon thinks they're one step ahead, but they're actually caught behind.
So I'm saying, they're staying forward. They're trying to really sell this. As the counter swing in, they will take down Garnets. It's a lone member on A, so the fake sell did work out. 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻 now has to exit, though. So he will be able to make it out. But the man advantage is still going to be found by Talon.
Yeah, and they're making sure that Pat tries to catch up to 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻 as well to make sure they know exactly where he is. They hear each other.
Nice,
𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻 with a kill. Now they have to make sure
𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻
that Sushi Boy stays
Crucial
alive
kill,
for
guys.
that alarm bot in mid. Otherwise, they're going to have to worry about it.
Aaron getting some revenge for the early death previously. Does get pinged. The drop down comes in. Fox able to find one and somehow doesn't take any damage in that exchange. Shock dart to try to clear things out. Gets rid of one of the nanoswarms, the other one lobbed in. And he does manage to take it down. And that one, he's going to go ahead. Holds it to half. Has to back away. 7 HP remaining.
Nice.
𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻 says thank you very much. Finds the kill. They find match point. Talon need one more with no cash in the bank to take this to overtime if they want to have a chance.
And the way
guys, G Fighting spam हो जाए chat में guys.
Been that successful. Aaron, what a good peek. Just getting the spray onto 2. And Fox, I mean, he did what he could, right? You see the nanoswarm coming in and say, okay, the best I can do is get the half now, pretend that I didn't, you know, get hit too much by and try to win this 1v1 first. Doesn't work out. He's too low.
And now it's a hero vandal from Garnets, and then Sheriffs across the board. We've seen a couple thrifties here in this map thus far. Can one happen?
Ganesh, ये तेरा round है guys. I can feel it guys. Ganesh मारेगा guys ये round.
So Global Esports, they know that every time on that eco, they've had Pat try to push out. They invest a lot to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Orb ले ले भाई, ult कर दे.
It doesn't really sign good news for Talon because again, the weaponry's not there.
Any kill for Pat's a reckoning. Same for Texture, trying to get a lockdown. Nano spotted. Aaron interrupts the plant just to go ahead and clear that one out. In the meantime, swing around the back. Texture going on the lurk. Trying to catch anybody moving out under tube. Ooh, and breaks line of sight just in the right. Oh, yeah, I was going to say at the right time to avoid seeing Sushi Boys, but then Garnets is right around the corner to get the elimination. Now Aaron has to pay attention to the back flank.
Nice, Ganesh.
Yeah, but with one. 𝐼𝐍𝐿𝐻 with another. They're just trying to
nice, Ganesh.
take down Cruz. And with that damage
Let's
being
go.
dealt, it's just Fox now with
GG
that Vandal in hand to try to kill off 4.
Oh, and look at their positioning. They're not taking any chances. They just flip it on its head.
And run to the hills.
Let's go, guys!
It's not going to matter. Fox ends up falling, and Global Esports
let's go.
Find their first match victory here in VCT Pacific.
Guys, आ जाओ. Oh shit, ये क्या हो गया? Sorry.
First match victory here in VCT Pacific. Both of their Indian players making their debuts.
Guys, बाजीगर मेरे लिए मैच MVP था पूरा. बहुत मस्त खेला वो. अपने लौंडे भी अच्छा खेले. अभी इंटरव्यू सुने guys. अब तक वो मौका आया नहीं था इंटरव्यू सुनने का. अभी वो सुन लेते.
Having to play with all these different roster combinations, the calls and the syncing of all
गाइस जब तक इंटरव्यू चालू हो रहा है एक गिव अवे कर देते गाइस तुम लोग के लिए
map to map coming from split into
नहीं चालू है
Icebox, and now they've shown their Icebox as well, and it looks quite strong, not perfect, but the foundation is there.
इंटरव्यू चालू होने तक
definitely some things to work on here.
स्ट्रीम वॉल्यूम बढ़ाऊं क्या गाइस गिव अवे करेंगे
on the side of Global
कीवर्ड एक्सक्लेमेशन 4K रॉसी ठीक है एक्सक्लेमेशन 4K रॉसी गाइस यू हैव टू बी सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल अभी 46K पूरे करो नहीं तो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ सब्सक्राइब करो इंस्टाग्राम पे फॉलो करो और ट्विटर पे फॉलो करो ये 3 चीज करनी है लेट्स गो 2K यूपी दूंगा मैं गिव अवे करूंगा सबको एलिजिबिलिटी है
basically than I think that we have seen, maybe aside from them versus
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, especially the kind of style
निकल रहा है
of
तू
bowling that we
कभी
saw
आया
from them, is taking some of these aggressive
Oh, I didn't see
calculated
you.
risks, things like that is what got them kind of that curveball
अच्छा
edge against their opponents at lock-in. So it's good to see that talent. It does
Guys,
seem like
जल्दी
they
करो
are starting to
46K guys
stabilize
देखो
through
मैं
that
हो रहा है कि
chaos and
नहीं
confusion that they had themselves, but not fast enough. They're now sitting
We
at
are
the velocity
very close
while
to 46K
Global
guys जल्दी करो
Esports celebrating their
hit that
first
subscribe
win
button
now with the full entire roster here in Seoul, South Korea.
And it's a huge one, and it's a major turning point because you lose out on this one. You go to that 0-4 like Talon just has playoff hopes. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
रोल
Ready Play,
करेंगे
not going to be able to have
कैसे हो
there.
बस बढ़िया चल रहा है स्ट्रीम भी चालू है
Some really bizarre scenario.
ओए
Yeah.
गाइस रोल करते हैं फिर लास्ट एक
Global,
इंटरव्यू
they
देख के
have been
स्ट्रीम
showing
बंद कर रहे हैं
us
ओके
every single match
3
that they can push teams. They can get to
500 लोग के लिए रुकता हूँ मैं
just been unable to cross the finish line. So there's
थोड़ा
still a
साइड में
lot
ओके
to do
हाँ
for this squad. Obviously, they're making
दिख
it to
रहा
the
है
playoffs, but they've been showing that they have the potential, and now they have their full roster.
ये
here in
इधर
South
तक दिख
Korea.
रहा है
And I am
हाँ अभी ठीक है
continually, very excited to see.
Okay guys, rolling
both squads
3,
look like
2,
week over week.
1.
Yeah, and you know, when Global
Harsh,
Esports was
Vashisht.
first formed, the talk of the town was
Harsh,
language
Vashisht,
barrier.
are you
How do
there,
get over
bro?
that? I'm going to say that's no longer a problem at all, especially because
Harsh,
they feel
Vashisht, आपका
comfortable
Instagram
with
ID
Rossi and
बताओ
Rossi as the Skyjet duo. Clearly, the comms are fine. I mean, there's no form of a language barrier that you have to overcome where you're forced to play certain roles. This team is coming to completion, and they're on this.
Hi Harsh, आपका ID
you know,
बताओ
upwards
Instagram.
trajectory in terms of momentum compared to teams like Talon or even Secret, who are starting to slip a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the biggest help for me is Texture. Now I can actually talk to Texture, whereas in the last 2
There you
seasons,
go.
anytime I see Texture, he doesn't, you know, he'll understand that I'm saying hello to him, but if I ask him a question, he might not fully catch it. Now he's getting towards
H21
fluency.
or
Mazzy at least had the excuse of, you know, I lived in America for a period of time, like, so had picked up some things, but I mean, that's even being more and more fleshed out, so Global very much tackling the language issue.
Harsh, you don't
extremely
follow
well,
me.
kind of like we're seeing
So guys,
with
we are
Valorant
going to
Players,
reload
at
it.
the same point,
Yes.
making sure that everyone is
कर रहा हूँ वही कर रहा हूँ
in English.
VP
Both teams
जो
now
खरीदने
can
खरीद
start
और
their
भी वही
upward
कर रहा हूँ और
trajectories
कितना
already,
करूँ
or already has, I
So
suppose.
guys, we are going
Yeah,
to reroll it
absolutely, but Global
एक बार मैं
Esports,
ID
can they
confirm
now make that
हाँ
start? Can they continue
तो हर्ष
that into
वर्सेस आप
these
फॉलो नहीं
kind of
करते हो
win
सॉरी
streaks,
रीलोडिंग
or
इट
was this one of
अमेय
those
साडे
one-offs? We'll have to wait and
Are you
see
there
what goes on
अमेय
next week. But the way they won today, I would say that this is very, very promising if you're a fan of Global Esports.
अमेय
For
are you
sure.
there
And I mean, a great time to have that watch party over in
yeah.
Mumbai and everything. Have these players come out again. I think Rossi.
We'll give
you know,
30
we know what he's
seconds.
capable of. We've seen it in the past. A little bit shaky here, but widely
Okay.
decent numbers put up for him playing on that duelist role. Like
10,
fast, fantastic
9,
debut, on this stage
8,
coming out with the Rays.
7,
Gorgeous to witness.
6,
So
2
Yeah, and
okay
the thing
okay
is Rays
ID
actually didn't
बताओ
have
हमें
too
आपका
many kills, but it was really just his movement and like the desk talked about the way he was creating space, right, for his teammates, and then when needed, he was getting those multi-kills. Rossi, yes, he does overheat still a little bit, but the mechanics are there. He's continuing to prove that it's not like, you know, he has some rust that he has to shake off. It's just a matter of being
जल्दी
a
जल्दी
little
जल्दी
bit more in sync
हमें
with the rest of the team in terms of positioning and what space you're taking. And now with the type of comps and calls they're
लग
making,
रहा है
right,
वापस
with
reroll
these
होएगा गाइस
Skyjet
ऐसा करेंगे
deals
अपन
and
तो
Aaron's calling, I think it's starting to come to this
हमें
really
I'm
cool
giving you
picture.
15
yeah,
seconds
and I think just considering again, these
10,
players have been here for only a week.
Yes.
It's been a long time
अभी
since
10
you know, while they've been separated
9
from everybody else. So a week
8
to come in, get acclimated to
7
a completely new environment,
6
get caught up in what you've been
5
prepping and whatnot. I
4
think that this is a good result. I think that there is they
3
have high hopes. So I think that if anybody's out there being
2
a doomer about Rossi's performance or a doomer
एक
about
सेकंड
Lightning Fast or anything like that,
पहले
just shut
चेक
the
कर
hell
लो
up.
मैसेज आया है
Yeah,
क्या
they're gonna be
Instagram पे
okay.
And again, you have this deep roster. All of them have now played on stage for Global
Okay,
Esports
नहीं
at
आया
some
है
point in
I'm
this
rerolling
VCT
it
Pacific, and all of them had their own highlight reel.
नंदागिरी
Right,
सू
so
सूर्य
clearly the roster is very deep. The potential is there.
नंदागिरी are you there bro भाई क्या हो गया guys गिव अवे कलेक्ट करने के लिए लोग नहीं है
Utilize him. map dependent. So
Hey, reply karo jaldi.
so I'm anticipating things like Haven, Ascent, etc. We're still going to be seeing him involved. So this could be one of the first really big utilizations of a multi-man roster that with the rotations.
Hi, आपका Instagram ID बताइए
It's only
जल्दी
one win
नंदगिरी
so
जी.
far, so there's still plenty more to see. But it's time for our interview here at the end of the series, and we have no one other than 𝐻𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒, of course, in
Guys,
his debut,
Ganesh.
after his debut, I should say, to hear from. We'll throw it down to Jen.
Interview.
Now, thank you, casters, and he is finally here. I'm joined by 𝐻𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒. Now, congratulations, Rossi. But first things first, how was the first game on stage?
I mean, after lock-in, this was pretty much okay for me. It wasn't pressured or it wasn't that hard, you know. In lock-in, it was like whole new experience for me. I was telling my teammates, like, oh, this is nothing then other than normal tournaments. And then I started, you know, getting that vibe of the tournament, and I wasn't comfortable. But now here, I feel like home, so it's fine.
Oh, it feels like home. That's good, that's good. But before the match, though, today, Aaron tweeted, now a big surprise awaits for the fan. And then you tweeted right away, nah, he baiting, right? But I can tell that you guys were all very excited to play together. So what does it mean to you to be able to finally play with the team and also be able to grab the first win together?
I mean, it feels amazing, you know, the
Let's
first win
see.
should have come longer than before, you know. All the games were very close. All the other 5 were putting their 100% to win games, and all the games were very close. But I'm happy we got the win today, and the whole process is like props to the coaches and all the players who made this 7-man roster work, you know, bring in Lightning Fast in a map, bring in me in a map, and giving both of us our comfortable agents and make things work. And first victory should have come earlier, but you know, it's now here. I think we're looking forward to win all the games from here. Yeah, pretty strong.
Well, you talked about how for the past week it was so far yet so close, right? It was a tough 3 weeks for Global Esports, and you openly expressed how frustrated you were for not being able to be with the team or be there for the team, and practice wasn't really an option for you. So how did you try to stay prepared?
Just by, you know, watching scrims. For a week, I was like kind of demotivated and wasn't involved in practice and stuff. And then later on, I got so many tweets from all the other coaches that, you know, you need to watch the scrims. Don't feel useless. Just watch with the team and learn from it. So I started taking that feedback, and I was watching the game, and I was grinding ranked, and I was listening to my coaches what I should do while I was not playing. It was frustrated because, you know, the season is getting over and 3 games already, and I don't want to miss any other games. But yeah, thankfully, love of God, everything worked out in the end, and shout out to the entire team. We made it happen.
All right, so fast forward, right? You came to Korea with Lightning Fast, but there was so much to do, and you only had like about 5 days or just about a week to prepare, adjust to the new country, to the new system, and also role swap, etc. So talk to me about the preparation process once you got here.
Once I got here, I got lost twice. Me and Lightning Fast got
At the
lost.
airport?
No,
Oh,
after
okay.
like me and Lightning Fast played till night because according to Indian teams we sleep. So me and him both don't have internet, don't have map, and we got lost, and then somehow, you know, found some free Wi-Fi on the road and just got it to the boot camp. And from the next day, it was all about, you know, the coaches and the players started making us comfortable by giving us our agents or letting us play how we want to play and telling us our mistakes and stuff. So it was all about preparation, I would say. Like the team and the coaches, everyone, they just made it happen.
Today was all about the team effort and the teamwork, right? Well, Peripherals will be the next team you'll play. So are you feeling good about that? Like, how are you feeling?
I don't have good memories with Peripherals. So, you know, but I know I'm not alone. We have a 6 other team, and we have 3 coaches, and we have the entire team. We have entire fans behind us. So we're just gonna play our best game and win it out like any other game. It's all about, you know, giving your best on the stage and proving everyone wrong, you know, and feel good about yourself. Whether you, in the end, it all matters is did you give your best or not. No, regardless of the result, there's one team should lose, one team should win, you know. It's all about did you do your 100%, did you practice 100%, did you give it your all? That's all it matters. So, yeah, we're gonna play our hearts out.
All right, and lastly, any message over to the fans?
Hello, India.
Hello,
GE fighting.
India.
And we got our first win, and all of us are working really hard to get us more wins, you know, and make it to the playoff. We all need your love and support just like this. Don't flame us. We'll try our best, okay? So I love you all, and the team loves you all. So thank you for everything, and the show just beginning. Yeah.
It's just the beginning for
Yeah.
GE. All right, thank you very much, SK Rossi. Best of luck in
Thank
the
you.
future, right? Well, you heard that, Victoria. Hello,
कलेक्ट
India.
करना है, एक सेकेंड. अच्छा गाइस, अमेय सूर्या सॉरी अमेय का मेरे को एक्चुअली ऑलरेडी मैसेज आ गया था,
Hello, India.
पर वो बग हो गया था,
Ended
so
today
I am reverting
fighting
the giveaway
hard
to him. I'm
and,
sorry.
Paperthin,
Yeah,
But I'll
words
give
to
you something,
Um,
Surya. Don't worry.
I have lots
Keep
of
fighting.
words to say.
Okay, guys. On this note, thank you
This
guys for
was,
tuning in.
exactly as
ढेर
I,
सारा प्यार. Love you
you know,
all.
foresaw it
मिलते
happening
हैं.
and,
ठीक है. दोनों को दे
just,
देखता हूँ.
good day for me.
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
सूर्या
Just
आपको
a
भी मैं एक
regular
battle pass
day
दे दूंगा
for
from my end.
Paperthin
ठीक है.
Yeah.
and his prediction.
That's right.
I can't
That's
help
all
it. ठीक है.
Okay, but look. Was there a point though where
Bye-bye.
you're like, wait a second?